They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
Well, Los Angeles, the center of the sports universe, and Perloff believes it will be even more so as we get deeper into the NFL playoffs. Hey, welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Loving your Christmas sweater.
Yeah, where's your Christmas? Where's your ugly sweater?
I don't own an ugly sweater, and nothing in LA is ugly right now, Perloff, because you saw last night. We'll start with the Rams. This was they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They've won 5 of the last 6. The Saints were just a pestering a little ant under their feet last night. They continue to steamroll, and this is a team that you believe has big hopes this year.
They are.
How far can they go?
They are so dangerous right now. Matthew Stafford is playing quarterback as well as any player in the NFL right now. And he looks rejuvenated. He looks 5 years younger than he's got. Listen, Cooper Kupp is still banged up. He clearly keeps favoring his shoulder coming out of plays. Yeah. But the Kupp-Nakua combination of wide receiver is as good as any in the league, without a doubt. And Kyron Williams is a star running back. And you look at their defense, you're like, well, I don't know about this defense. But then there's that guy, Aaron Donald, there, who single-handedly kind of won the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
No, he did.
So they are so dangerous, and they're built in a way that would cause a lot of problems for the Eagles and the Lions, I believe. So we're talking about a very, very possible first-round upset. Then, if they get in the right seeding bracket, they could go Eagles-Lions and find themselves in the NFC title game against San Francisco. I don't think that's a stretch at all.
Wow, I think you are reaching a little bit here. Now, everybody loves the hot team at the end of the year, and it's been sort of a precursor at times to see who is going to make a deep run. But I ask you, you talk about the 49ers and you're looking at the Rams. I still feel like these are two teams that are in different levels here, that are in different stratospheres. Not to mention, I know in 2020, the NFC Championship games, the Rams got the better of the San Francisco 49ers, but the 49ers, for the most part, have owned the Rams. And here's my one thing about why I don't want to throw cold water on it, because I'm seeing everything you're seeing. But here is where I would be nervous. You can still get to Stafford. See, that's the thing. At any time last night, when the Saints had nothing going, absolutely nothing going, when there were moments when they were able to get pressure on Matthew Stafford, he's not mobile. He's not running around. That's totally. When he run, you
what
do
about
not
that
want
play
him
last
running.
night where he went against his body and hit Demarcus Robinson for 30 yards? He was moving around great last night.
I think if you can get pressure on Stafford, this whole thing could be a house of cards on offense that falls apart. And that would be my one concern. He's playing great, but you get to him, he's not going anywhere. Matthew Stafford can't move like that.
He is moving better than he has in years. He looked very mobile last night. I disagree with that. And the other thing, too, notice my scenario. I avoided the Niners in that playoff.
Yeah, come on.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying there is a path. This is everybody in the NFC saying the same thing. There's a path to the NFC title game as long as we don't get San Francisco early. That's all I'm saying. Okay. The other thing, too, is they play San Francisco in Week 18. There's a great chance. I played it all out in my head this morning. There's a great chance that San Francisco's not starting anybody. So the Rams could probably beat them in Week 18. I don't know what it means. And then they could get into that. The key is to get in that 2-3, so you're not playing San Francisco to the title game. Then they're okay.
Okay, other thing about the Rams here where I'm just not willing to buy in quite yet. I know they're getting a lot of credit, and maybe rightfully so, for just playing the Ravens tough. They played the Ravens tough into overtime. It was a special teams return for a touchdown that won it in OT, and that was a good showing. But here are the wins that have happened in this streak. Seahawks with, tight Seahawks win. You're at the Cardinals, okay. The Browns, but that's when they're going through tons of injury things. Mm-hmm. The Commanders, who they did let almost come back on them, and they were out. So, we talk about the Dallas Cowboys. We talk about the Miami Dolphins. Who have you beaten? Where are your signature wins?
Yeah,
where are the signature wins here?
It's a little bit weak, but
for the Rams.
It's a little bit weak, but I'm going to take the loss to the Ravens as a signature game. They went into the rain. Win. This is a Los Angeles team, and you're saying Los Angeles is having a moment. They're having a moment when the weather is nice. They went into the rain in Baltimore and almost, could have beaten the Ravens. And Matthew Stafford was a hero in that game. And Matthew Stafford last night, the guy, it doesn't even matter what arm angle he's throwing for. He is on a heater. So a hot quarterback is a formula to win. And the rest of the team is pretty good. The defense is not bad. I know the final score last night says 30-22, but it really was not anywhere near that close a game.
Yeah, they let the Saints score a garbage touchdown.
The Rams dominated them. Also, they have a ability to go run pass with Kyron Williams, so they can sit on a lead. They can find weaknesses on your defense. Yes, and Sean McVay is doing an incredible job this year. We're not talking about Sean McVay and Coach of the Year, but maybe we should, because everything is firing perfectly for the Rams right now. I will give you, of course. No, a lot of teams have played weak teams. There's quarterback injuries everywhere, so the schedules are laying out that way.
But we call those teams out, and we say, hey, I don't believe in you, or some people will say, I don't believe in the Cowboys because they haven't beaten a good team. And
now they beat the Eagles.
They beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
But at home, they haven't beaten a good team on the road. Whatever you want to say, we poke holes in all these.
Miami, big time.
Yeah, Miami for sure. And that's why this game this weekend between the Dolphins and the Cowboys is so big. But it's like, we poke holes in all these teams, yet here are the Rams. It's like, guys, they can't be beat. It's like, all right, well, they've also been playing a weak schedule. This is all about expectations. And the fact that the Rams had zero expectations going into the year. Matthew Stafford, what was going to be the issue with his back? I mean, that's not an insignificant thing for a quarterback at 35. Sean McVay talking about how he wanted to retire and take a step back, and then he ends up signing this contract extension. There were a lot of reasons to doubt the Rams, and they're proving those doubts to be wrong, but let's not act like they've been world beaters yet.
Well, I think we looked at this team and we thought about last year. We had no idea Puka Nacua was coming. We had no idea Kyron Williams was coming. We had no idea Matthew Stafford would somehow find a fountain of youth. Maybe it was blood spinning in Germany or something. Matthew Stafford looks like he did 4 years ago.
Yep.
That is all a big surprise. The defense has been solid. If you look at the scores with the Rams, 2 weeks in a row, they let a bad team close, make the score closer at the end. It means nothing. They are playing solid football when it matters. And, I hate saying this because you're the one who says this to me. They play who's in front of them. I just think I saw a team go into Baltimore against probably the second best team in the NFL and go blow for blow. That made me very encouraged. The other thing, too, if they have to play Detroit, that's you can't bring the Rams outside in the grass. Like, this is a good matchup for them. I just think the matchups sort of lend well to what they do well, which is going to be an offensive kind of track meet a little bit. They're going to be in good shape. Going to Philly might be tough, but I think there's an easy scenario where they see the Niners again in the NFC title game.
Just to reset it, the Rams big winners last night over the New Orleans Saints. And right now, if the season ended today, they would be, 6? 1, 2, they would be 5th place technically, but they would be the 6th seed, right? They would play the 3 seed. That right now is the Detroit Lions. Carlos, can we hear a little from Matthew Stafford, please, on the team has been playing with playoff stakes since their bye week?
I mean, we've had stakes since we came back from the bye. You know what I mean? We earned the opportunity to be at this point, in my opinion. So I think we're relishing the opportunity to come out and play every single day. It goes back to how we work in practice. We push each other so that we feel ultra prepared when we come out here on game day and let it rip.
Let's hear more from Stafford. He thought the offense actually could have been more productive last night.
We could have 40 tonight, in my opinion. There were quite a few plays here and there that, just didn't go our way or we, didn't hit. But that's part of it. Play a defense that's going to play sticky coverage. Sometimes they're not going to hit all of them. But, there were a lot of points left out on the board, in my opinion. So a lot of room for improvement, but proud of our guys the way we came back and, finished the game there at the end, which was nice.
Okay, so 8-7 again in the playoffs. And I don't know. And
by the way, they have a lot.
Play the Giants next week.
They'll probably go to 9-7 when they play the Giants. And they got San Francisco sitting there, but they have a lot of tiebreakers. They beat the Seahawks twice. Yep. That's really important. I think they might lose a tiebreaker to the Vikings, but the problem is the teams that they're competing with are quite flawed. Like New Orleans getting back in it, the Vikings. If you look at the bottom half of the NFC, the teams that might sneak into the playoffs, you will give me that they are by far more dangerous than a Minnesota Vikings or even a Seahawks.
Well, I was looking at it because we're going to make our picks later on in the show. We got a lot to do today, by the way. Like, we got to keep on the schedule today because we've got picks. Of course we do. We've got our holiday gift swap we're doing today, a little white elephant party that we're going to do on the air that you can play along with us here on Maggie and Perloff. We've got thank you, EJ. We're revealing our number one moment of the year on the Maggie and Perloff show. That's going to happen 9:20 Eastern time. So set your watches to that one. But I'm looking at when I'm trying to make my picks, and I'm looking right now I'm like, who has a healthy quarterback?
Mm.
Who has a healthy quarterback? Because those are generally the teams you like to bet with.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and it's just like, it's bodies everywhere, just full carnage. And the Rams having a fully healthy Matthew Stafford, a rejuvenated Matthew Stafford. I mean, yet you're talking about putting them in over teams like the Minnesota Vikings and the like. I mean, Geno Smith is going to be back in the lineup for Seattle, but he's obviously been in and out with the groin injury. You like your chances if your quarterback's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you get to the Super Bowl because you stay healthy. That's why Baltimore is so dangerous this year, because they've never been this healthy. I don't think since Lamar got there, they come in with half their team on the IR. This year, they're super healthy. The Niners are super healthy, too, which is another team that has a lot of injuries. So maybe we're talking about who's going to get to second place. But I agree. Just Stafford. And Stafford, he is at his peak. I mean, there's never been a better Matthew Stafford. And that's good enough to win a Super Bowl. It's good enough to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, let's not do that again.
Let's not
do that again. I'm not getting.
You see that sidearm throw last night, Maggie? That's a Hall of Fame throw.
I know. He does that thing, that baseball thing that Mahomes does.
He's also become this sort of well-liked elder statesman in the NFL. Everybody likes Matthew Stafford now. I think he's quite popular among the media. He seems like a nice guy. We don't know him. I saw him walking the streets in New York this summer, and he was talking to everybody. I think Stafford is on a good run right now. Who does not like anyone? No one out there has a huge problem with Matthew Stafford. He seems like he doesn't celebrate. He doesn't do anything. Like, he looks like he goes home at night and watches Netflix. I don't think that dude is causing a lot of trouble.
I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe some Alabama fans going back to the Georgia days.
No.
Florida fans,
he was toothless in college.
Call him a Hall of Famer and then see the response you get.
Yeah,
I've done it many times.
Perloff and I. This is one of many major disagreements. I mentioned, all right, so the Rams are there. You're welcome to weigh in, 855-212-4CBS. Are they the most dangerous team in the NFC outside of San Francisco right now?
Yes. It also, too, it's a matter of the way the NFC is laying out. It's sort of like the San Francisco bracket and everybody else,
sure,
as long as you avoid San Francisco. So, yes, I think they are very dangerous. They can definitely beat Detroit, and they can definitely beat Philadelphia.
Okay, so there was another very interesting part of this LA story yesterday. Carlos, can we hear Puka Nacua, cut number 6, with Shohei Ohtani in the house wearing a Puka jersey?
But I think it's a huge honor, like especially to have somebody. I guess I found out he wears number 17 as well, so it's nice to have that the similarity, but also to have somebody wear your jersey is a huge honor.
Okay, so Shohei Ohtani is in the crowd last night, and I don't know about you, but it felt like, whether it was the Amazon broadcast, I'm not sure, we're treating it like Ohtani just got to town.
Yeah, he did.
When he's been playing for the Angels for like 5 years. Has it been 5? Has it been more? 2018?
Yeah, that doesn't feel like Los Angeles.
Shohei has been in the LA market this whole time. He hasn't played anywhere else. And it was like, wow, Ohtani, look, he came to a Rams game. It's like he could have been going to Rams games this whole time. We could be a season ticket holder. We have no idea.
Have you done that drive to LA from Anaheim on rush hour?
I have.
Listen,
it's like driving from New York to DC.
To be honest, he is rich enough to afford the, helicopter.
Well, that's not. I don't do that.
Any kind of chauffeur. Yeah. Like, it's not like he's sitting there in a Toyota Prius, in bumper to bumper.
I think he might be. I don't think everybody's comfortable in helicopters. The thing about, you said LA is having a moment right now. Like, obviously we'll get into it. They made a big signing. Do you realize that in 2020 they won 2 titles with the Dodgers and the Lakers, and in 2021 they won on their football side? This has been a moment. It's just nobody cares in LA because it's not that kind of sports town. They just care about the Dodgers and the Lakers.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think they're. And by the way, the Rams, it wasn't exactly a wild crowd for the Rams last night. You did hear some cheering for the Saints.
Well, I thought the crowd was actually, from the TV, it felt like everyone was pretty into it. I don't know. Pretty into it. But, I mean, listen. It was a blowout for
We know how NFL football is in LA. We know nobody likes the Chargers. That's just a fact.
Well, the Chargers have a complicated history with San Diego.
The Rams are growing, but I wouldn't say, listen, you go to LA, everyone asks you, hey, what do you think about the Dodgers this year? It is a Dodgers town.
So speaking of the Dodgers, they are part of this story. We are going to get to that next. So Shohei in the house, but that wasn't the only star baseball player front and center. Big Big news coming out of LA last night. We will get to that. Your Rams calls, not just about if you're a Rams fan, because I get that maybe outside of LA, we don't have a lot of Rams fans. Okay, if you're a fan of a team in the NFC, Perloff's shaking in his Christmas sweater right now. This dude's sweating bullets in this turtleneck. If you are a fan of the Lions, if you are a fan of the Eagles, if you are a fan of any team in the NFC, hell, San Francisco. If you're,
that one I'm not so worried about.
They might feel okay. How are you viewing the Rams? Are they the one team you do not want to face outside of San Francisco?
By the way, you said there are a lot of Rams fans outside of, there might not be a lot of Rams fans outside of LA. Then there aren't a lot of Rams fans.
I don't know. I think St. Louis, they're all pretty much gone too.
Yeah, they're angry at LA. But I don't know why we're ripping on LA sports fans. But you have to admit, they are a bit quirky.
They are the center of the sports universe now. I know 2020 happened, but that was...
I mean, LeBron got there in 2020. How could they not be the center then?
Because bubble titles, the baseball season that year was weird. It was different.
Remember, LeBron wanted to include his parade with the Rams parade because they didn't get to have one.
And the Rams said,
hell no.
See ya. We don't need a LeBron stealing our headlines here.
No.
Probably does that enough.
I'm sorry. That's so funny. I had never heard that story. That sounds like
that one.
Kind of a LeBron thing.
Yeah, he was like, even though, they won a year later, we should be included because we were in the bubble when we didn't have a parade.
Are they going to have a parade for the in-season tournament? Is it going to be a parade?
They already did.
We had the banner night, okay? That's enough.
Or maybe just like LeBron's going to go outside the stadium, everyone honks for 5 minutes. How are they celebrating this bad boy?
They're going to celebrate by backing up the 101 for about 5 hours. That's it. That's an LA celebration.
I think LeBron just wanted to talk to Sean McVay about, coaching strategies and extra knows because we know how much he loves talking football.
No.
That was why he wanted that parade.
He wanted injury updates. Should I start Cooper Kupp, my fantasy team?
I'm very disappointed in LeBron for this season. I mean, why is he focusing so much on basketball and so little on his true love, the NFL? I have not heard him make a pick. He's totally not talking NFL anymore as we're getting deeper into the NBA season.
I know. He's getting serious about basketball. How dare he? 855-212-4CBS. 855-212-4227. All right, we get to the Rams being a dangerous team in the NFC. Perloff thinks they can go all the way to the NFC Championship game. I am not that high on what the Rams are doing, although they do look pretty good. Who have they beaten, though? If we use that argument for the Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins, I'm going to use it for the Rams. Where's the signature wins now? You're a hot team, but you're also taking advantage of a soft spot in the schedule. Also, the major baseball news coming out of Los Angeles last night. So much to do. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Okay. Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff. Carlos is on the board today, and he is quizzing us with Christmas music. What movie does every song he plays come from? This sounds like an old school Frosty the Snowman or Rudolph the Rain. You know, this is or Elf. I don't know. There's nothing. This is. I thought you were going to give us Christmas Vacation and something I recognize.
Well,
Maggie,
you might. We have a long show.
This is classic Christmas music.
Okay,
What do you got?
What Christmas movie is this song associated with? I guess like It's a Wonderful Life or something?
It's Deck the Halls. Yeah, I would say Elf.
All right, well, both of you are wrong. EJ, you want to give a shot here?
No, I'm lost on this one. It's all you.
A Christmas Story.
Oh, I love that. Actually, I've never watched that all the way through.
Oh, it's so
I have
awesome.
to admit it.
I feel like people are trying to say that Christmas Story is trash now, right? Isn't that the hot take of the season right now?
In what way?
I thought this was a layup.
I've never seen it all the way through. I know one of the stations used to run it like 24 hours, like TNT or something used to do 24 straight hours of A Christmas Story.
I'll tell you what, I've never
watched
seen it either, so I'm with you. I just know it exists.
I feel like Christmas Story is one of those movies that was always on cable television, but I just always had it with the sound off, rather, and just never actually listened to the plot.
Someone put their tongue on a pole.
That's the one scene that
that's the
everyone
only
knows.
scene you got to know.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And,
I thought that was
and the
Dumb and
BB
Dumber.
gun, right?
And the BB gun,
Shot in the
yeah.
eye with the BB gun.
And the kid, Peter Billingsley, is now a very well-known producer in Hollywood. It's a big deal.
Oh, so if
ironically.
we meet him, we should probably tell him we loved it.
Yeah, he's partners with Vince Vaughn. He's a thing in Hollywood, and yeah, I mean it was fun. I remember it's 40 years old now. That's the other thing too. So I don't know. People are saying it's trash now. You got to remember it's so dated. But meanwhile, last night I did not expect to have a great sports night. I was watching the Rams Saints, and I'm a Philadelphia fan, so I didn't expect any victories to come my way. But there I am, late at night, and the headline comes, and to see the Mets have something bad happen to them makes me so happy as a Phillies fan.
I mean, how you would frame this story in that way is just diabolical.
Fist pump, yes.
Especially in the Christmas season when you're wearing the Christmas sweater, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio. Perloff has got his, I mean, that thing is festive. And it's a turtleneck, too, which is wild. I love it. But the fact you would frame it this way, no, this is congratulations, Los Angeles Dodgers, you cheating franchise.
Yeah.
How you got this is amazing. So let's tell you what it is. Of course, we know that Shohei Ohtani just signed with the Dodgers. He signed for $700 million. $680 million of it is going to be deferred until after his contract is over. That in and of itself felt a little bit odd, a little like you're skirting the rules. What did it do? It made room for them to also go out and sign the other huge Japanese star who was available, and that is Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who signs a 12-year, $325 million contract with those Dodgers. He was with Shohei last night at the Rams game, so now the Rams have $1 billion committed to Yamamoto and Ohtani. You cheating fools.
Wait,
if
what are you
you
talking
do
about?
not
Why is
win
that
the World
cheating?
Series this year, failure. Because this doesn't feel right that you'd be able to sign both of these guys, and it's because Shohei took $680 million in deferments. This is crazy.
Wait, first of all, they could have signed both. I mean, this is a team. What were you mad when they got Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman? They've been doing this for 10 years now.
They got those guys too. This is infuriating.
they've been outspending everyone. The only blip on this roll of spending dominance was the Padres outbidding them on a couple guys. Otherwise, everybody be with a Dodger. And that doesn't guarantee. But the thing is, it's not like, for some reason, it doesn't bother me. The Yankees spending all that money in the 2000s and 2010s and losing was bothersome. The Dodgers spending all this money and trying to buy a World Series doesn't bother me. I can't explain why, but I feel like a lot of people are like me. They're not the evil empire.
They are the evil empire.
Nobody
they
views
definitely
them.
are.
No, you're saying that because they outbid your Mets. Nobody views the Dodgers as the evil empire.
No.
In fact, they're quite likable.
No, this is the same reason why people didn't like the Yankees. Now, listen, maybe the Dodger fans are a little more palatable than Yankee fans. Yankee fans,
Yes.
you all know you're insufferable. You boo your own people. It's annoying. Every Yankee fans, you feel like the world, you deserve to win every single year, like the world's been handed to you on a silver platter. There's an arrogance that comes with Yankee fans that is so detestable for many people, which sets up a great yin and yang. That's why the Yankees are great villains, right?
The Dodgers have none of that.
The Dodgers are now the villain
Nope.
of sport.
They are not.
The fans. The fans haven't done anything yet. But the franchise, if you as a baseball fan like this, if you're not a Dodger fan and you're like, oh, cool for them, you're what's wrong with baseball. The fact they were going to have this much talent, you have to be rooting against them now if you're not a Dodger fan.
You're such a hypocrite. Because if the Mets had spent all this money, you would have been all about it. But unfortunately, your guy Steve Cohen, I guess his checkbook isn't big enough.
I guess not.
Also, I guess he didn't serve the right food when he had Yamamoto over for dinner last week. No, who does not like Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani? And honestly, Freddie Freeman, too. Some people find him annoying. But this is one of the most likable teams. I don't think anyone is turned off by the salary.
Okay, the individual guys might be likable, but then again, like there were individual guys on those Yankee teams that were likable, but as a whole, they were the enemy. And this, congratulations, Dodgers. And if the Mets had done it, the Mets would be this insufferable. This is what happens when you go out and look like you are just trying to buy your way into as many championships as possible. And if it doesn't happen, this is a massive failure. This is no longer congratulations, you won the NL West 100 years in a row.
No.
Congratulations, you get to the NLDS. You have to win. Like there's no you got to the playoffs and it's a crapshoot. No way with the Dodgers.
They've been outspending everybody by 200% for a decade, and nobody cares if they win or lose.
Now they might have the pitcher that they've really needed.
This is nothing new for the Dodgers, and the hatred that the Yankees always got, they've never gotten that. Nobody even really cares if they win or lose for some reason.
People hate the Yankees.
No, the Dodgers.
Oh.
I'm saying, like, the Dodgers have been doing this for a long time, and there is not that kind of pressure.
There is another part of this that I think makes the Dodgers look like villains, and according to the Dodgers, it actually wasn't them who had the idea. It was Ohtani. These all-time deferments.
Oh, who cares?
It feels like cheating. You don't have to pay the bill while you're eating the meal. You don't have to pay the bill for another 10 years after, like, what restaurant was I eating at? That doesn't seem right.
If the Mets had done that, would you have had a problem with it?
I think that as a fan, I would have
It's a
loved
simple
it.
question, Maggie. If the Mets had done it, would you have had a problem?
I would have understood why everyone else in baseball would have hated me. I would have 100% understood why everyone else would have hated me. And the Dodger fans, you guys don't have to feel bad about it. Congratulations, you won. But understand everyone hates you.
But by the way, and you said the Yankees had likable guys. Yes, they did. They had their core four were likable, but they signed A-Rod. I mean, listen, nobody likes A-Rod.
Yeah, but people like Giambi and stuff. Like, they were likable
Kevin Brown.
guys.
Like,
people love
they were
CeCe
not.
Sabathia.
They did not sign likable guys like this. This is a great team of
CeCe
popular
Sabathia
guys.
is one of the most likable people in sports.
They had A-Rod. That's all. That's the end of the argument here. The Dodgers have Mookie Betts, who, if you like sports, you like Mookie Betts. I do not see them as the evil empire or anything like it at all. And besides, how can you? Who hates Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto? How has the energy to hate Yamamoto? Nobody knows anything about the dude.
Listen,
he's never even been here.
I don't hate these guys, but I hate what they've done here. I hate what Ohtani has done because it's like you gave a pass to a team that didn't need it. It's not like he was like, you know what? I'm going to sign with the Kansas City Royals because I just want to be part of that, and I'm going to defer all these payments to make it easier on a small market team. The Dodgers can afford it. Just get paid, man. Like, to do all these deferments and to give them this kind of this kind of an advantage when they already have almost every advantage in the world.
So you don't like team first superstars? You'd rather have somebody who's like, give me all the money right now, and it's all about me.
Listen, I'm just saying does this not feel like skirting the rules when you defer $680 million?
It doesn't even matter because they could afford whatever the tax is to sign both of them anyway. It's not like the Dodgers have more money than anyone. It does not. Yes, technically, I guess there is skirting the spirit of it, but I kind of like it. I like that Shohei said, I want to win a World Series. That's all I care about.
Good for him. Good for the Dodgers. But I feel like it's fine for everyone else in baseball to be like, this is crap.
Whatever. I have a Dodgers jersey at home. I'm wearing it for open season. They're my B team.
You can't root for two NL teams. That's against the rules. You're a Phillies fan.
I have an East Coast team and a West Coast team. I love the Dodgers.
You know they can play each other, right? In the playoffs, it doesn't matter what
Well,
coast
then
they're
I'll root
on.
for the Phillies. But I'm pro Dodgers, and I don't understand why you would not like this team. Who cares if they outspend everybody? Listen, the Mets got this billionaire owner, and everyone in New York was thrilled. I heard the radio. Oh my God, we're finally going to be able to outspend everybody. And it hasn't happened, and nobody had a problem with that money. I think you're being two-faced because I think if the Mets sign these guys, you'd be thrilled about it.
I admit that I'm being two-faced. Of course I am if this was the Mets. But I honestly, I'd like to think that I have enough integrity, and I do believe this deep down, that even if the Mets had signed Shohei with this $680 million of deferments, like, it just doesn't feel right, guys. And then now they got Yamamoto because of this. It's like, this is crazy.
And honestly, Perloff, you got to get this Mets stuff out of here. It's just weak sauce. Okay?
Oh, come on.
No, because Mets fans wanted to be the evil empire.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You're missing.
You can't.
So exactly. So you're saying like, oh, you will be happy, and therefore this Dodger thing is okay. No, Mets fans wanted to not play by the rules. We wanted to have an owner who had way more money than everybody else, so we can get every other star and win a World Series every year.
Right.
That's what we wanted.
That's why you can't rip the Dodgers for doing that.
No, what we're saying is that we wanted to be the villains of sports. We wanted to be the evil empire.
And I'm saying the Dodgers are that, and you're telling us they're not. If you pull this move, you become the evil empire.
Right, exactly.
I'm just showing you guys reality. There is not the hatred towards the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's just not going to happen. Like, the Mets are as unlikable a franchise over the last 30 years as
No,
they're.
nobody cares about the Mets outside of New York.
Oh, the Mets. Oh,
This is some Philly fan crap.
No,
here.
I mean,
this is
come on.
I don't
hates the
know.
Mets?
No, but, I mean, the Yankees certainly have their enemies because they were so good for a long time. The Yankees are like the Dallas Cowboys, but I think the Mets have a negative implication. Like all the Bobby Bonilla stuff and the Mo Vaughn stuff. Like, they're famous for trying to buy.
Why would you hate us for that?
Because it's lame.
No. This is the thing. Well, Ohtani's doing it times a gajillion. If you don't like Bobby Bonilla because he's deferring $1 million a year.
Yeah, but he's Shohei Ohtani. He's not Bobby Bonilla. He's the best player on the planet.
Wait, here's the thing. Move the Mets out of this. Nobody gives a crap about the Mets today.
Exactly.
And you're talking to Mets fans. This is not about the Mets.
You just said the Mets are not disliked. You guys have no idea.
No, they're LOL. That's people like to clown them, just like the Jets. That's what this is. Nobody outside of New York cares about the Mets in a real way, except to laugh at them and point and laugh. And believe me, the Mets have given you plenty of ammo to do that. But here's the thing about today. Today is about the Dodgers becoming the super team and Dodger fans
becoming the super team. What are you talking about? They've been a super team for a long, long time.
This is I would say on steroids, but that's probably not right to say about a baseball signing. This is super team And just this is everything that comes with it. So congratulations to you. I wish I was you. It will be great. But here's what comes with it. You look like you skirted the rules. Nobody's going to be rooting for you if you're a fan of another team. Good for you. Maybe you get some casuals. Congrats. But you're now the hunted. And that's what I'm saying. And get comfortable with it.
I don't agree, because they have been the kings of free agency, and nobody has been saying this about them at all. Nobody has any animosity towards the Dodgers, and they've been doing this for a long time now. They've been outspending everyone like crazy.
You're acting like the Shohei contract is just any other contract.
It really is. Its value, according to the baseball whatever office, is $460 million. So it's just basically $40 million more than Trout. It is not out of line with all the other contracts because of the deferrals.
The deferments are what make it different.
I think it's brilliant. I give them credit for it.
Well, that's fine. You can give Ohtani credit for it. I'm just saying it feels like you gave the team that doesn't need it, you gave them the ultimate cheat code. And they didn't need the cheat code. Anyway.
That being said, by the way, the Dodgers have done this before. It doesn't guarantee they're going to win anything. That's the other thing. You don't feel like it's all done.
Oh, you better if you're the Dodgers.
What are you talking about? Well, they basically MVPs and Cy Youngs all up and down their lineup forever. They win 107 games every year, and nobody's killing them.
Okay, but Perloff, you have to be the only person on earth who's like, congratulations, you've got over $1 billion, earmarked for these two players. Well, just go out there and play the game. No expectations on you guys at all.
They had
no
Clayton
expectations.
Kershaw and Mookie
Just go out,
Betts.
have a good time.
Was anyone killing them? They had basically like Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Like, they've had these guys.
They get crushed every year. They fall short in the playoffs.
They get crushed, but it's not. The animosity is not there like New York teams.
This is where, and I don't like to do it, but I'm going to join Perloff in this theoretical drive to San Antonio. He's not wrong here. The hate that you guys remember from the Yankees was from them winning after spending all of those things. The Dodgers are like a pity case now because they never win, and we get to make fun of them. If they start winning 3 of the 4 next World Series, then we're going to hate them. But unless you're a Giant fan or a Padre fan, you don't hate them like evil Empire Yankee hate yet. That doesn't exist yet.
But this, maybe you are, I think this Ohtani deferrals combined with the Yamamoto signing, to me, has made them now unlikable in a way that I never thought so. Because here's the thing about Mookie Betts. That's the Red Sox fault with Mookie Betts. There was no reason on God's green earth that Mookie Betts should not be in Boston. That was cheap, and the Red Sox should have to be shamed for that forever because they can afford it, and they chose not to. And then the Dodgers re-signed him. Of course you're going to. Freddie Freeman's at the end here. Atlanta got their World Series. Okay, you can understand if a guy wants to move on. This is like, again, that never felt like cheating. This feels like cheating.
I don't know.
Cheating the system.
I don't know. It does feel like a little extra energy because you guys thought the Mets were going to sign Yamamoto. I feel like there's a little more, the juice is turned up a little bit.
Well, I think the Mets and the Yankees both thought they had a good shot, but here's what happened. You let the guy out of the building, proverbially, the proverbial building. If the richest owner in baseball has a guy over to his house and you wine him and dine him, you got to leave with you can't let him leave without some kind of an agreement. They must have known they were out the moment he walked out.
One other thing, as evil empires they are, the Braves lineup is still better, which is amazing too. It's not like the Dodgers have bought anything. Like, listen, there's a couple teams that are just as good as the Dodgers. Ironically, look at the Braves. It's like MVP.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, I know.
Stick to the Dodgers.
That's to me. I'm
on
hate
your side for now. Don't ruin
the
this.
Braves. I find much less likable than the Dodgers. I can't explain because it must be the NL East.
I think both of you guys are living in the NL East bubble.
Probably.
And I think if you walk outside the NL East, I don't know, you're not going to find one person who sits there and says, "Oh, the Dodgers love those guys."
Yeah, but nobody's killing Dodgers fans because they're not there to kill. I mean, what are you going to get them between the 4th and the 7th inning? I mean, it's just a much more casual thing out there.
Except for
that's crazy that they're not even going to appreciate it, is what you're saying.
No, yes. I mean they will for 4 innings.
You guys are talking about this newfangled Dodgers. This has been going on for 50 years with the Dodgers.
Have you been to Dodger Stadium?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Have you seen? Oh, you probably sitting in the cushy seats. Have you seen those fights that happen every night in the?
I don't go to Giants games.
Every
I'm not
Dodgers Giants series.
Well,
there's
this idea that you go to Dodger Stadium, these Dodger fans, are like nice and cuddly. I mean, give me a break.
Who said that?
Yeah, I don't think they.
Perloff is saying that Dodger fans are great,
He's talking
and that
about
they don't care.
Dodgers fans
talking about Jason Bateman.
Right,
and
exactly.
like the late Larry King.
Right. And Jimmy Kimmel.
And like Pat Sajak and like
Will
the
Ferrell.
the celebrities who go to the
Those
game.
guys are probably cool.
But listen, Dodgers fans, you have to admit, there's a little less intensity to the LA sports fan. And we're going to talk about the Rams, too. It's not quite New York.
Well, then it almost feels like it's a waste then, isn't it? That by your standards. I'm not saying that about Dodger fans. I think they're going to be happy today and they're going to be like rubbing it in everyone's face. We have to get to headlines. Now, we see you guys on the phones as well. You want to weigh in? Are the Dodgers the new evil empire now? Perloff says yes, I say no. Andrew Bogusch is here.
Yep, so the Dodgers got
no time.
The Dodgers got Yamamoto. The Rams got a win on Thursday Night Football.
Stafford has a snap, sets the laces, progresses back of the end zone, leaping catch, caught, touchdown! DeMarcus Robinson for the 4th game in a row. A career best streak for D-Rob. And with 21 seconds left in the half, Stafford hits Robinson for 6.
JB Long on Rams radio. LA sneaking in that touchdown just before halftime after stopping the Saints on 4th down just across midfield. They would eventually lead 37 early fourth quarter. They won 30-22, extending their hot streak to 5 wins in 6 games. They own the 6th seed in the NFC, pending this weekend's action. Of course, Sean McVay, a proud head coach this morning.
I just have loved the way that this team has responded. And it's been consistent, but players are making plays. Guys are comfortable with what we're doing, and I think the coaches are doing a great job of putting them in the right spots.
The Saints dropped to 7-8. They're 9th in the NFC right now. There was some bad news for LA last night. The Clippers' 9-game win streak ended in Oklahoma City, 134-115. And the Lakers lost in Minnesota, 118-111. Darvin Ham's team has dropped 4 in a row.
Always disappointing to lose. Never want to get into the routine of being comfortable or getting accustomed to losing, but good things that happen. We came up a little short, but some of the things I saw out there tonight were really, really good.
Except for the scoring less points than them thing.
The championship hangover in the in-season tournament.
1-5
to be
since
expected.
Then. LeBron did not play because of quote-unquote ankle tendonitis. It was also the second night of a back-to-back.
Wow, he's got ankle tendonitis and a calf contusion this year. Should we be worried about his lower body?
You got to keep an eye on that tendonitis.
Spin the wheel of lower body injuries, and that's why LeBron's not playing. Back to you guys.
Andrew Bogusch, thank you. Okay, well, this has become a hot-button topic here about the Dodgers because they're cheating. No. I mean, this is unprecedented. Shohei Ohtani first. Now Yamamoto. This all happened yesterday. It's still maybe not 100% confirmed. Is it still sources, Bogusch?
Pending physical.
There we go.
Yeah.
So still a chance. No, I'm just kidding.
There's not.
There's not.
Hopefully he won't see LeBron's doctor because LeBron's doctor is saying everything is an injury.
You don't want to get that tendonitis.
The deal's off, ankle tendonitis.
You got to get back that $325 million now.
Yeah.
So there you go. Do the Dodgers, are they the new evil empire? 855-212-4CBS. So much to get to. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Give it a good kick here.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a few stitches for just hitting my head on a sharp light up there. Honestly, I'm in worse shape than the actual poster. What is this thing made of?
I like this. This is a combination great moment from Maggie and Perloff of 2023, which was us destroying the Carson Wentz poster for charity. Should always add that in.
Yeah.
We really don't have beef with
By
Carson
the way,
Wentz.
Carson Wentz might go deep into the playoffs this year, back up to Matthew Stafford in L.A.
What if he won a ring with the Rams?
What's his second ring?
Oh, yeah, I forgot the first one. 2 was a backup. And this is from Vacation. That's not a Christmas movie.
But don't they play that song in every of the
Nope,
vacations?
they do not.
All of them except the Christmas one.
Except for Christmas Vacation. Such a good song, though.
It's such a good song.
By the way, Maggie just got 3 points.
What's that?
I knew
No, you got 3 points for getting a song right.
Oh, I forgot we're being judged.
I knew that it was Vacation too.
What do you want? You want one for trying?
I was just
Didn't he?
enjoying the
He
song.
didn't try.
No,
He just
Perloff's
didn't
like
say
the
anything.
Dodgers in the playoffs. Congratulations, you made the postseason. That's not going to fly anymore now that the big news happened
Maggie,
overnight.
you're a Mets fan.
Yamamoto,
Yeah.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto is now a LA Dodger. Perloff and I don't agree on this. I think that the Dodgers now have to be the evil empire. They are and should be the most hated team outside of LA, which is because the Shohei Ohtani contract feels like cheating because of $680 million of deferments, and that paved the way for Yamamoto. Guys, this
Maggie,
is so stacked. It's ridiculous.
You're a Mets fan. I would worry about two things: the Phillies and the Braves. You have no time to worry about the Dodgers.
The Mets are on Mars right now compared to the Dodgers. They are stratospheres and universes and galaxies away from where the Dodgers are. This isn't about, well, listen, the Mets lost out and the Yankees lost out, and that's got to burn today. But everyone else in baseball has to be looking at this and throwing their hands up. Like, if Shohei hadn't deferred all that money, could they really have afforded also $325 million for Yamamoto?
1,000% yes.
I don't know. I don't think they would have.
There's no way Shohei would have did it. Like, why would he have done it then? He did it so they can get other guys.
Exactly. Let's hit the phones. 855-212-4CBS. Thomas is in San Diego. Good morning, Thomas. How are you?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. What's on your mind?
I would just like to say, how can Perloff not see that this is criminal?
Thank
you. Is criminal what the Dodgers are doing.
Yeah, you're in San Diego, Thomas. Of course you think that.
Yeah, that's fine and dandy. But let's break it down like this. I mean, we all know Shohei Ohtani is one of the nicest guys around, and they convinced this guy to stay home, stay in L.A., come to the Dodgers, and not have to pay him damn near $1 until he almost retires. They knew what was happening. You don't think he's talking to his buddy in Japan? Yet they already knew what was happening.
It was Shohei's idea. That's what everyone's saying. Ohtani came to them with that idea, didn't he?
He did.
I believe that, and I believe that. That's fine, but that's criminal. Like, if this was a workplace, that should be a felony in the workplace.
Thomas,
the fix was in.
Trade in your Padres hat for a Dodgers hat. Just give in.
I mean,
give in.
Look, you're talking to a guy who's been a Padres fan his whole life, and almost all my life we had to watch the Dodgers with their $250 million payroll to our $75 million payroll. Finally, we get top 5 payroll. I mean, it sucks our owner died. Rest in peace to Peter Seidler. He was great.
Yep.
But we finally get a leg, beat the Dodgers last time we saw them in the playoffs. Even the Mets, sorry, Maggie, that whole embarrassing thing with
I remember.
Yeah. So it's one of those where we've been looking up the Dodgers for payroll for so long, and then now we finally catch a break, and we're that close, and they're going to go do some criminal stuff like this. My unborn grandchildren will hate the Dodgers for the rest of my life because of this. This is absurd. Perloff, I hope 1,000 fleas of camels infest your armpits, buddy. You are out of your mind, sir. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
Thomas, wow, what a sick burn too. That sounds awful. 1,000 fleas infest your armpits.
I would have thought he'd be more mad about the Bryce Harper home run, too. If Thomas still listened, you remember that, Thomas? You remember the Phils?
Don't do it. Listen, here's the thing about the Padres, though. It's not like you have a bad team right now. Like, there's a lot of really nice things going on with the Padres. You still have a lot of talent.
I feel like the Padres had to step back on the spending, though, and the Dodgers have stepped it up. So I can understand why that would be annoying.
I don't know. The Xander Bogaerts contract was massive. They're still out there spending. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. I don't see how anyone looks at it and thinks this is cool. Quickly, let's go to Jeremy's in Calgary. Jeremy, I've left you almost no time, but tell us what you're thinking.
I think if the new CBA, we know that MLB despises a salary cap, but if I was the other teams, wouldn't you try to go after that and make the Dodgers really pay for $65 million if they ever decide to go on a salary cap?
Oh, Jeremy, I mean, they will never, you're right, they'll never do the salary cap, and thank you for the call. But this is why everyone should be mad at this, because the Dodgers should have to pay an all-time tax right now, and they are skirting a lot of it because Ohtani deferred all that money.
I'm a Phillies fan. I have no problem. Bring it on. I love it.
855-212-4CBS.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
He thinks Frisbee golf is the sport of the future. She's sticking with football. They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
Major sports news while you may have been asleep. Hey, welcome to the show. Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is a Dodger. You know, we probably should have seen this coming when he was sitting next to Shohei Ohtani at the Rams game last night. However, the Yankees, the Mets, your Philadelphia Phillies, there were a lot of other teams who thought they really were in the bidding here on Yamamoto. He's a 25-year-old pitcher who is the equivalent of a 3-time Cy Young winner in Japan, who now is going to be playing in Major League Baseball. And everyone was whining and dining him. Everything was coming out positive about the Yankees. You had Hideki Matsui apparently put some video together, trying to tell him how great the New York Yankees are. But no, it is the Los Angeles Dodgers that land Yamamoto. They've now got Ohtani and Yamamoto, the two biggest Japanese stars on the planet. They have over $1 billion committed to both of those guys. But of course, we know with Ohtani, the contract has $680 million of deferments. To me, this feels like cheating. It feels like the Dodgers and Ohtani together have conspired to just blow the rest of Major League Baseball out of the water. And you are now the evil empire, Dodgers, so get used to it.
Yeah, I don't feel that way at all. There's something about the way the Dodgers approach all this. They don't feel evil. They're arguably one of 2 or 3 showcase franchises in MLB. They should be out there being aggressive, and they should be getting these guys. They're the LA Dodgers, for gosh sake. I want them to spend aggressively. Yeah. I want them to have superstars. The other thing, too, is everyone knows you can't buy a World Series title. Yes, they have all this talent now, but are you betting on them? Are you guaranteeing anything? And they're still going to have to see the Braves at some point, my Phillies, maybe, who knows, the Astros. And there's a lot of great teams out there. So the other thing, Padres, too, like, I don't think that the average baseball fan should feel frustrated because we know that it's still going to be a great competition. And the funny thing is, look who was in the World Series, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. And they weren't out. I mean, the Rangers did spend a lot, but they didn't outspend anybody. So baseball is a funny sport in that sense. That as a fact, you cannot buy a World Series ring.
Okay, but this is where you and I are really going to disagree, because I think, and I said this at the time when they signed Shohei, you have to win multiple World Series for this to be considered a success. I'm not talking about the pencil pushers and the accounting department that gets to cash in on all the Ohtani endorsements. That's not what I'm talking about. I could care less if the Dodgers make more money off of this. I'm talking about success on the baseball diamond. You pull this kind of move, especially with the $680 million of deferments. Again, I keep bringing it up because it was unprecedented. But you pull that kind of move, you pull that kind of oopsie-doop on everyone else in Major League Baseball. If you don't have multiple World Series, what are you doing? You're saying, Perloff, it's always a crapshoot when you get to the postseason. You can't use that excuse if you're the Dodgers. You cannot.
Is this even... Okay, I know they got Yamamoto and Ohtani, but is this even a particularly star-studded Dodgers team? I mean...
Oh, my goodness.
They had Seager and Bellinger and Clayton Kershaw at his peak. I mean, this is... I don't know that, first of all, the Dodgers are not exactly what they were when they won the World Series. They had superstars at every position then. Now they're a little bit top-heavy.
Don't forget, not just on top of course, the names you know, like the Mookie Betts and like Freddie Freeman and all of that. They traded for Tyler Glass now, and then they paid him. Yeah, they keep going and going. There's no end here.
Yeah, I know, but again, I argued with this with EJ. They're a bit top heavy. Once you get through
who cares?
Betts and Shohei, you get through Betts, Shohei, and maybe Freddie Freeman. Yeah, but Will Smith's a catcher. I have a strategy to beat the Dodgers. They don't terrify me because they have some sluggers at the top, but they're not like the Braves who go 9 deep with guys who are going to just murder you.
Oh, my goodness. It's like...
There was a time, remember, this is a team that had Seager and Bellinger and all these guys and Walker Buehler and Dustin May coming up. There's a reason the Dodgers have to spend because they haven't been able to develop quite as much as they had been a little earlier.
Well, they still have Buehler. I mean, he might have been hurt during the postseason, but they still have these guys. And if they're healthy, they're going to be unreal.
I mean, they're going to win 108 games.
They have to win multiple World Series now for this to be a success. If you want to spend like that, the expectations go up as the payroll goes up. That's how this works.
They have been spending like that. They have had the biggest payroll, and nobody has really killed them for not winning.
They should be killing them. And now, I'm telling you, this Ohtani contract and now with the Yamamoto, it has changed things because... This is, people hated the Yankees for a variety of reasons. Of course, because they were successful, but also because there was an arrogance about the Yankees. I don't know if there's an arrogance about the Dodger fan, but to say that you don't expect to win after you do all of this, why are we even taking out the baseball bats and the balls if it's just okay to pat yourself on the back to make the postseason? That's no longer good enough for the Dodgers.
Okay, say they win 110 games and lose in the NLCS.
Failure.
Yeah, maybe, but are you really going to get up in arms about that?
I am right now. You're watching me.
It's not New York. It's L.A., and listen, Dodgers are looking at the big game. They have 10 years to win World Series with Shohei here.
Let's go to the phones. 855-212-4CBS. I'll tell you, Perloff can explain away anything for anybody. I can't wait until, if there is the day when I eventually commit a crime, I cannot wait for Perloff to be my defense attorney. Be like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it was Thursday.
You have to remember, too.
What was she going to do?
You have to understand.
It was cloudy outside. Of course she was going to rob that bank.
I'm in a good mood because I get to see the Mets fans in my life suffer. That is as good as a Philadelphia win.
I'm telling you, you guys think he's McLovin, this nice guy. No. He's Nick Hayton. Oh, how did we just stumble on that now? Keith is in California. Good morning, Keith. How are you? Keith, how you doing, dude? Oh, Keith, I got to put you on hold, pal.
He's a Giants fan. He's probably mad like you.
He's probably just like, there's steam coming out of his ears right now. So,
the Giants are the new Miami Hurricanes. They seem to get in the mix on a lot of these guys, and they're not there.
Oh, man, you're taking a sideswipe at EJ while he's on the phone.
Yeah.
It's a bummer for the Giants, too. Did you catch that one, or were you busy screening up?
I said the San Francisco Giants are the new Miami Hurricanes. All the free agents visit there, and now they have not landed the big fish.
Well, you're right about that. It's sad, but well, look,
EJ
Miami
was in a good mood yesterday.
Yeah, look, we had the number 3 recruiting class in the country. Put some respect on Miami today.
I'm sure a lot of those guys will finish their career down there.
Okay.
Well, nobody finishes their career anywhere.
Yeah, picking on Miami now.
I was gonna say, Rich is in Chicago, wants to weigh in on the Dodgers. We need a new name for super team because this is like beyond. This is the global super team. Rich, what's up, dude?
Hey, I wanted to comment on the reaction here in Cubland about what the Dodgers are doing. It's been very interesting, and I'm not a diehard Cubs fan, so I have no real dog in the fight here.
Okay, what's the deal in Chicago?
I'm sorry?
What's going on in Chicago? What's the vibe?
Well, here's the drill. I'll start it off with you picking up Yamamoto. The reaction here is much the same as it was when Admiral Yamamoto surprised Pearl Harbor. He was the mastermind of the Japanese Navy, so that was some clown made that
all
joke.
Right. Unfortunate, connection there, but has nothing to do with the current guy.
No, I know. It was a joke that the Cubs fans have to have something to laugh about. I think it's the front office that's demonstrative of Chicago's third largest market, as everybody knows, but they don't spend money. Ricketts has the money.
Yeah.
They don't spend. They can't keep Bellinger. They even trotted out Suzuki to try to get Ohtani. And there was talk in this town about Ohtani was in the Cub wheelhouse as being a final. And it's all fluff.
Rich, I always thought that was a little bit suspect. And Rich, appreciate your phone call, man. And we have Carlos here, who's our Cubs fan too, is on our board today, and I'm curious to get his thoughts as well. But you had like the Cubs and the Toronto Blue Jays. Remember, those were the two teams.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, New York and LA, and then the Cubs and Toronto.
Yeah.
And again, I think Rich was making a good point. I bet Carlos would agree with it. Chicago kind of raised an eyebrow because who are they paying for lately?
Yeah, the most that we paid for was shelling out a contract to Dansby Swanson. We're a big market team, but it's almost like Tampa feeling. Like they're putting the purse strings are really, really tight. The Ricketts family's gotten a lot of criticism for the last couple of years. Cubs fans are irate. They're waiting for the big splash. Our big offseason move was hiring a manager and paying him $80 million a year. As a Cubs fan, I'm furious. Perloff, I said this during the break with you. I was indifferent to the Dodgers before. This morning, and as going forward, I officially hate the Dodgers because they're doing what I think every other major market team should and wants to be doing. Like Cohen and the Mets, they want to lure the big fish in. They're not getting them. The Yankees, they offered $300 million. They're not getting them. The Dodgers are not only getting these people, but they're paying $680 million after Yamamoto and Ohtani are done. This is ridiculous what the team is doing.
But Carlos, I thought you were like me, though, because you've won a championship in your lifetime with the Cubs, and you have that one under your belt, unlike Maggie and EJ, who don't know that experience at all.
Well, the Mets have won. I was 3 and EJ wasn't alive.
Yeah, that's my point.
That's unfortunate.
Honestly, I thought the Cubs fans, aren't they, you can't live off that 2016
we're
anymore?
over it.
Well, see, Carlos stumbled on something there. Well, not stumbled. You brought up a great point, and I was thinking about just zoom out. It's unbelievable your team wins a title. It's incredible. It lives forever. You'll have those memories for the rest of your life. But it is so painful when the back end of that happens and the team has to sell off the pieces or doesn't re-sign guys, or it's like
I don't think so.
I think that's what Cubs fans, it's like when your franchise is still dining out on a championship that now happened.
That core was young.
Happened 7 years ago.
But
I know, but that's,
everyone
again,
thought that
7
core was
years
going to
ago.
be forever. They had Javi Baez when he was young, Chris Bryant before the injuries, Anthony Rizzo, a healthy Anthony Rizzo. That team was supposed to be the up-and-coming Cubs team that won a year early. They were supposed to have a 3-4 year window, and it was shut almost immediately.
But I don't think the pain is the same as Maggie's describing, because like the Rams, they sold out to win that one Super Bowl. I think it's a nice surprise that the Rams are good again, but there's not a lot of pressure on the Rams. The fan base is still fine. I think you can dine out for 15 years.
Well, how long do you have after a title that you the franchise can do anything and you have to be like, but we did get a title?
I think maybe 20 years ago is different. Now the attention span of everybody is so much shorter in 2023. Yeah. So this idea, look, there are people, Cubs fans, who are suffering 80, 90 years. Some of them 100 years old, never saw a World Series, and then they got a World Series ring. But some of these folks, it's like, all right, well, now we're on to the next thing. And it's like, wait, I want to see the Cubs win again. Like, the whole idea that you can just, like, do something 4, 5, 6 years ago and people are going to live on that it's in every industry. It doesn't work anymore.
But I got to tell you,
it's good
Eagles
commentary
fans,
on society.
Eagles fans were not as mad about losing the Chiefs because they had that ring from 17.
Okay, but
but they also got in. They had a chance to get in.
You're back in the Super Bowl. It's not like, they decided to get cheap with everybody.
So you're saying when you
they
just
keep
totally
reinventing
collapse.
themselves,
Yeah, the Mets won the World Series in 2015. Like that feels like 50 years ago to me.
Okay, so tell me if you think another thing has changed a little bit with sports, and it almost feels like one-time champions. It's like there's something about being a one-time champ. It's like, congratulations. And like, listen, I'd love to feel what that is like to be a one-time champ even with my football team. But it's almost like you're only, not that you're a fluke, but like you're just a one-time champ.
Your transcendence only lasts in your city.
Well, I mean, look at the NBA. That's the new thing. I mean, 5 straight different champions. I think Milwaukee could end up being a one-time champ. Denver could end up being a one-time champ. I think it's fine. What's wrong with being a one-time champ? You can live. I think you can live off it longer than you guys think.
I think you're not memorable. Who remembers? No way. Everybody, when we talk about the Dallas Mavericks beating the Miami Heat, what do we talk about? We talk about LeBron choking. We don't talk about.
That was a Dirk
got a lot of love.
No, I'm talking about
today.
No, today people still like when they talk about that finals. People say, "Oh, Dirk was amazing." No, it's like, "Oh, we're talking about LeBron and GOAT conversations." How could he lose that 2011
Maybe
finals?
it's just because LeBron's still playing, but
no,
I think it's a basketball thing.
I think Dirk got a coronation on that one because of Dirk. I think we remember him winning that one more than LeBron
but
losing.
The bigger story was LeBron's choke.
No, because LeBron won the next 2.
No, that year, and then when we still talk about conversations about LeBron with the finals, it's always about him failing in that moment.
I don't see it that way at all because they won the next 2 seasons. They won the titles. That was a new dream. Yeah,
right. But Dallas, they didn't make I think they made the playoffs the next year, and then they didn't make the playoffs the next 2 or 3 years after that.
I remember it as Dirk won the MVP, and the Mavericks were constantly disappointing. Then they won that at the end, and Jason Terry was a great feel-good story.
It was like a validation of.
It was a validation a little bit.
Dirk.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying completely, but I feel like I remember that as a Mavericks great team.
But I think what EJ is just got to it there. It's a basketball thing. I think in the NFL, you can still be a one-time champion and it will be memorable. Like I know they did it, but if the Cincinnati Bengals had beaten the Rams, like that lives forever, right?
But wait, the Heat.
Maybe the Rams will live forever.
Yeah,
but in basketball, like that Toronto Raptors team that randomly won with Kawhi, like is that going to be remembered?
I mean, does anybody? And I go to baseball. Does anybody remember the Royals?
No. Well, I mean, that Royals Mets
you and I do.
That was a low point
but
for
besides
baseball.
us and the Kansas City people, nobody.
Well, Kansas City though went to back-to-back World Series, so
and I still think they're irrelevant.
Yeah,
that
baseball.
team.
baseball was starting to lose its grip on the American attention right around 2015 when this all happened. But I think that the Dwayne Wade, Shaq was a kind of a one-off in a sense, and that team was very memorable. I know they won with LeBron came, but
yeah, probably because of Shaq winning without Kobe. That was Dwayne Wade really getting onto the national stage in a new way.
That was a very exciting team. Yeah,
Pat Riley was the coach. That's like a little bit of a. They fired their coach of the year mid-season. That was a little bit.
How about Paul Pierce's Celtics? They only won one.
Yeah,
that's probably, a very memorable team.
That's probably the best example.
If you didn't have all the iconic championships of the Celtics in the 80s, like if they weren't already an iconic franchise, does one random one? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I think it's because it was the Celtics.
They had a lot of star power. You know which one? How about the Dodgers winning a pandemic World Series? That is a one-off.
Well,
I mean,
that's an asterisk.
A lot of people don't count that one at all.
60 games, guys. Come on. We're all baseball fans.
I think that's part of the hate, too. It's like, that was me this morning. I woke up this morning. I was trying to just kind of rationalize this whole thing. My first thought was, this is all Mookie Betts and the freaking Red Sox fault.
Yeah.
Because the Red Sox gave him away for nothing, and this started this whole thing. But the other thing I thought was, these guys, I keep hearing Shohei Ohtani, well, the Dodger and their winning culture. And then now it's Yamamoto. Apparently he was driven by the winning culture. What winning culture? They haven't won jack. They won a fake World Series in a 60-game season, and then the last World Series they won was 1988. All they've done is choke in the big moment, and we're talking about Dodger culture and them being some big-time franchise that wins big World Series and the championship stuff. Get that out of here.
EJ, this is the Andrew Perloffification of sports. NL West champions. Which is funny because Perloff really rails against the in-season tournament and raising the banner, but NL West, I'm sure you're fine with that.
Well, yeah, I know I just think there's something kind of harmless about the Dodgers. I hate
harmless. They just pulled one over on all of baseball.
They're cute. The evil Empire Yankees used to drive me crazy, and I feel none of that energy towards the Dodgers. I mean, it's kind of like Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw was a gigantic postseason disappointment, but who doesn't like Clayton Kershaw?
855.
Seems like such a nice guy.
212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. You're welcome to weigh in on Ohtani and Yamamoto now together with the Dodgers, the super duper team. I mean, EJ, there's got to be a Marvel Avengers. What are they?
Well, that's the thing, too.
Who's the evil Avengers?
The Masters of Evil.
There you go.
You guys can talk about this all you want. The fact is the Dodgers have not separated themselves talent-wise with these two signings. By no means.
We have a very important question, actually, in our chat. YouTube.com/CBS Sports Radio, Twitch.tv/CBS Sports Radio, where P. Wade is asking if Perloff is going to wear that holiday sweater to jury duty.
Yeah, so the jury duty, I'm on grand jury duty. We all decided to wear holiday sweaters today. So
no, you guys are...
Yeah, we're becoming a team.
No.
Oh,
it's like Stockholm Syndrome. You're going to become friends with all the bailiffs and the judges.
None of us liked each other the first week, and now the bonds have formed. And
You're all wearing holiday sweaters?
We're all wearing holiday sweaters. Everyone's bringing cookies.
I have a very important question. Who should feel better that the juries were all wearing holiday sweaters? Defendants or prosecution?
The plaintiffs. You got to be the defendant.
That's a good poll question. Yeah.
You feel lenient on the defendant.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, hey, come on. He just stole a car.
Yeah.
It's a good kid.
It's Christmas.
They called it 12 festive men.
There are no defendants because it's a grand jury, but still, it is, you're right. This is a good day to commit a crime in New York City because we're letting you go. No,
I've eaten 6 Hershey Kiss cookies and I am ready to acquit.
Yeah. You are charged with 3rd-degree felony assault, but hey, have a cookie.
You are charged with 2nd-degree ho-ho-hoing. 855-212. Sorry.
Actually, yeah, I don't know if that's a different court that goes to 3rd-degree ho-ho-hoing.
Listen, it's New York. All right. 855-212-4CBS. I'm sorry. I'm a child. 855-212-4227. You got to stream the NFL on Westwood One for free. It's sponsored by AutoZone. All season long, you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the NFL live on the NFL app by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports or on the Odyssey app. Get in the zone, AutoZone. AutoZone's free battery testing and charging is available for free at your local AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Oh, I know this. This is the
I know, Home Alone.
I think we split it.
I get the point.
I give you both the points because you guys got it right at the time.
There
Same
we
time.
go. Carlos is quizzing us songs that are attached to Christmas movies.
This is Home Alone 2, right, in New York?
No, this is 1.
Now you're getting cute. That's Home Alone 1.
Hey, by the way, so you guys know one of the things that people dislike about me the most is that I like sequels.
Yes.
But this is where you lose me. To say Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone original.
Home Alone 2 is definitely better than 1.
Oh, Carlos, you're lost in the woods, my friend. Come to the light. It's not. Home Alone 1 is so iconic. Home Alone 2 is a New York movie, and they just do the same stuff.
Maggie, this is not a hot take. 99% of people on Earth like Home Alone 1. I don't know where you're coming from, Carlos.
Yeah, sorry, Carlos. I'm
No, listen,
off this bandwagon.
I didn't even watch this. I wasn't in New York yet. I lived in Chicago, and I still love 2 over 1.
Well,
first of all, I mean,
that's
listen,
rough.
The odds of Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern running into him in New York are so infinitesimally small.
Poking holes in the plot.
Logistics of Home Alone 2 were too much for me.
855-212.
And worst mother of all time?
She's up there.
Hands down.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'd probably get some side eye at the pickup at school if I lost my kid twice.
I'll be real, though. The mother in Lion King also not the greatest.
Wait, what?
Yeah, but it's animals.
Wait,
they're still mothers.
What did she do wrong?
Simba was just running around the jungle as a little pup, going up against hyenas, while Mufasa was trying to run, Pride Rock. And the mom's like, hey, yo, mom, I'm going to go chill with my homie. And then like, okay, go have fun.
Sounds
and then
exactly like
he's
my
going
mom.
into antelopes, and his dad's getting killed trying to save him. I mean,
yeah, but the women have to hunt in the Lion Pride. I'm dead serious. I've thought about this a lot.
They didn't explain that in that movie.
I know, it's hard
she
to
was
parent.
busy.
She's a working mom, guys.
She's definitely a working mom.
She's got 2 jobs.
Yeah, the men just sit around all day with lions, and the women do all the work. So I think that's unfair.
Take it up with the patriarchy, EJ. Sheesh.
Look, I'm being real. Simba, the reason Mufasa died is not even Simba.
It's Scar.
No,
Scar sold him out.
No, it's Mufasa's wife. Simba goes to her and says, yo, I want to go hang out and go into the jungle.
You're dying on this hill by yourself.
He's like,
no, I think you need to go to a therapist with this. This is really deep.
Like, did you see the same movie that we saw?
Did Simba not go to his mom and say, let me go, can I go run out of there? And she's like, all right, sure, go ahead. And then what
no,
happened?
but she was at least cautious.
Listen, she's a working mom. She can't be a helicopter parent. Sometimes you got to be a latchkey kid, okay? Sometimes you got to come home, you got to turn the TV on for yourself and pour yourself your own milk. It happens. She's just an 80s mom. She wasn't a
The
bad
Home Alone mom is bad. Well, I think it was a 90s movie, but sure. The Home Alone mom, nobody got killed.
Oh, yeah, but there was multiple attempts on a 10-year-old's life.
Somebody almost died.
Yeah. They were about to shoot him. I don't think it was a great position they left him in.
Well, the other part, too, is, I mean, Daniel Stern got an iron to the face. He probably should have died from
definitely
that.
had a concussion.
He got
that was a bad day.
times.
Oh, yeah, and electrocuted. Thank you.
That is true.
The New York one, though, does have, not to bring this up, but Donald Trump has a
does
scene.
make a cameo.
And that makes it, too, somewhat notable.
Yeah, in the Plaza Hotel, right?
Yeah. And
I don't know if he'd be let in there right now.
the hotel, no one has
honest.
ever hated anyone like the hotel employees hated Macaulay Culkin. Oh, they were so tired
That's
of that
why
kid.
it was so good.
No.
Thank you, Bogus.
Does anyone cry at the end of Home Alone 1 when the elderly neighbor hugs his grandkids?
It's a must-cry situation.
But the ending of part 2 was better with the pigeon lady. Get the gift from Kevin. Oh, you guys are all wrong.
I wasn't into the pigeon lady.
There's probably someone actually living at the where was it at the Met? No, where
It
is
was,
she
it was
living?
like some what? It was like some Phantom of the Opera kind of
yeah, I
deal.
think it was the Metropolitan Opera.
Yeah,
something
right.
like
She
that.
lived in the attic or something like that.
That's probably real, yo. There's probably a couple people living up there. Housing prices are nuts right now.
And that being said, I don't think they were as lovable as she was.
No, it's probably not as happy.
I don't think it's who you want your 10-year-old kid hanging out with in New York.
It
From
doesn't
Chicago.
end like that. It ends with
She's
someone's
a bird lady. She's harmless.
You know who's really
picture
at fault,
up.
by the way, is a teenage daughter who had to count the kids in the van in the first one. She gets a lot of heat on social media.
She should. I mean,
Actually, I think that's you who's gone after her before.
it's the neighbor. Clearly, it's the annoying neighbor who was get counted instead of Kevin. All right, I think we've properly done that. 855-212-4CBS. Let's go quickly to Scott, who's in San Francisco. Scott, I don't know if I'm believing and reading this correctly. You are a Giants fan, and you're okay with what the Dodgers are doing?
No, I didn't say it was okay.
Okay.
I said brilliant move.
Ah.
Yeah, they're just they've deferred all that money to Ohtani to buy their team. Now, I don't know if you remember when Magic Johnson signed his contract in L.A. back in the day, the only people that came and congratulated us on a brilliant move were bankers.
Yes. It was like $1 million a year for 25 years or something like that, right?
Yeah. So it's brilliant. He deferred all that, and he got his money back in the end. You know, the problem I have with all of this is pricing the fan out of the stadium.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You know, when I was a kid growing up in L.A., I used to go to Dodger Stadium and get in to see a game for 50 cents. The premier baseball palace in all of baseball. And 50 cents. Now, to get
it was 50 cents, but the Ticketmaster fee was $150.
Ticketmaster didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, now it's $50 to go to a bleacher seat. Like, it's ridiculous. And now, in order for me to go to take my family to a game, I got to cash in the remainder of my 401k.
I know. Scott, it's funny because, and thank you for the call and making that good point, because that's kind of the irony of this whole thing, right? Ohtani, why does he do this? Why does he take all this deferred money? Why does he take a quote-unquote team-friendly deal? So they can sign more people, right? And so they can bring a winner to the Dodgers. But oddly, it doesn't make it easier for fans to get in the building when the payroll is this high because the beer prices are going to go up. The ticket prices, obviously, because there's going to be so much demand. All the merch, everything that you want, it's going to go up. So it's the double-edged sword. He wants to bring joy to the Dodger fans, but yet it's going to be harder for those fans to actually watch him in person.
The average Dodger ticket last season was $171.
That's wild.
Well, okay,
the average ticket.
but
Now, so that's not get-in price. That's the average ticket price.
But I think Dodgers fans are still happy though. You can watch it on TV. I think they would take.
Well, that's
this bargain.
the owners want you on TV anyway. They don't.
Yeah.
They care less about you coming than anything else.
Well, that was crazy because for a while, do you guys remember when there was a huge contract dispute between, what was it, Spectrum and...
right. Yeah,
I don't remember
massive.
who. Forgive me.
Yeah.
And you couldn't watch Dodger games. Like Vin Scully was not
maybe.
on.
I think it might have been DirecTV,
in LA.
but it was a huge deal. Yeah, that was. But I think Dodgers fans, most of them would take that bargain because it's already crazy expensive. I hate how much it costs because you didn't even talk about it. If you want to get food, you go. I'll go. I got the hot dogs. Everybody, you come back and you just spend $97 on two bottles of water and 2 hot dogs.
Honestly, and the other thing too about a beer, it's like you're paying crazy amounts, and it's not like you're getting some fancy. It's like Bud Light, Miller Lite, all that stuff. You're not.
Yeah, it kind of fits baseball. I wouldn't.
Fine, but
I don't. The odds, anybody who orders like a fancy craft beer at a baseball stadium, that's kind of lame.
I'm saying that if you want a Miller Lite and nachos and a helmet, it's setting you back. Like like you said with the hot dogs, you're in for a hundo.
Yeah,
but I guess that's why with Citi Field, I don't feel as bad because at least they try to give you somewhat. I don't want to call it gourmet, but that's specialty foods. And I think some of these stadiums are trying to do that. So
and they charge you out the yin yang for that stuff.
The line at the Citi Field food it takes a half hour to get a hot dog.
You got to get there early. I mean, that's what me and my girlfriend do. We try to get there half hour for first pitch.
I don't know about the concession lines at Dodger Stadium. I'm not sure how long they are, but they're prohibitive at other places.
By the way, the bathrooms at Citi Field, not great either. Huge lines. Steve Ballmer is the ultimate owner of the Clippers. Like, he charges a lot, but the Disney building 10,000 bathrooms in his new stadium.
It's all about the bathrooms.
Yeah. He doesn't even care about the talent on his roster anymore. He's like, yeah, but I built those extra bathrooms. People are like, yeah.
This is a guy who's got a weak bladder or something. He's like, this is personal to me.
Well, you should be thrilled because the women's line at the games is insane.
No, this is the only place where women have the advantage when it comes to bathrooms. There's no line. I'm in and out.
Oh, it's
There's not enough
events?
women at these games. The men get totally screwed at these games. Women, it's like, we're having a party in there.
You go to a Broadway show at the intermission, the women's line is a mile long.
Yeah,
I know because it takes us legit 5 years to go to the bathroom. That's
when I went to
science.
Mariah Christmas, it looked like they were selling Jordans outside. Like it was crazy at MSG.
New iPhones in there.
Yeah.
Well, what are y'all talking about in there? It's like nothing. Bogusch is here with headlines. Hello.
Hello again. So on a personal note, at least he's not a Yankee, and he didn't listen to Bryce Harper's Phillies pitch. But Yoshinobu Yamamoto ain't a Met either. The prized Japanese righty joining forces we've been discussing all morning with Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers. The 25-year-old gets a 12-year, $325 million deal in L.A. That is the longest and richest contract ever for a pitcher. And it means the Dodgers have spent $1.025 billion on 2 players this offseason. As you've heard, there is no deferred money in this agreement, so LA will pay Yamamoto now. and then Ohtani afterwards. And then there are the Rams still rolling despite a visit from those pesky Saints on Thursday Night Football.
Rams in the pistol. Stafford looks to his right. Brings Cup in motion. Hands off left. Kyron Williams veers to his right. To the 5. Leaping to the end zone. Kyron Williams rams it in.
That seems rude. JB Long on Rams radio. Kyron Williams running for 104 yards and that score. Matthew Stafford threw for 328, 2 touchdowns, and a 30-22 home win. LA's won 5 of 6 overall, 4 straight in LA. They are the 6th seed in the NFC at the moment. This was a 10-7 game late second quarter. That's when Derek Carr and the Saints couldn't convert on 4th down. The Rams then drove for 6 just before intermission. Carr on what could have been.
It's just hard and frustrating when it happens like this late in the year because it's like, dang, like, we needed that one. And so it makes it hard. But, man, I'll be positive and keep pushing, keep fighting.
Dang. The Saints are now
Stop
7
throwing interceptions
and 8.
all the time.
Stop missing wide open receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
we all
catch it
said
too
dang.
Stop being coached by Dennis Allen.
There's
will
also
help.
that.
There you go.
The Bengals have finally ruled out Jamar Chase for tomorrow's game with the Steelers because of his shoulder injury. The Saints yet to officially name Geno Smith their starting QB for this weekend, but he has put in back-to-back full practices in Seattle. While Victor Wembanyama was scoring a season-low 7 points in the Spurs' 21st loss in 22 games, 114-95 in Chicago, Chet Holmgren was doing this.
Holmgren, little up and under, off the backboard. Chet Holmgren set it up for himself.
Much like Perloff on a Saturday morning in Brooklyn, Holmgren going self alley-oop, the underhand scoop from the free throw line, caught it, dunked it. He's the true rookie of the year.
Can I tell you right now, I've been playing up Chet Holmgren's skill level all year to try and convince people not to vote for Victor Wembanyama Rookie of the Year. Last night after that play, I think Chet Holmgren's legit. I'm not even making this up anymore. That dude is special.
Well, I saw that. I was like, oh, no. Perloff is going to win this bet. He's not going to have to drive to San Antonio to apologize to Wemby for calling him Wembust-Yama.
It's not done yet, but yeah.
But Holmgren just had his moment. But
there's a lot of basketball left. Who knows if both those guys weigh about 180 pounds? Who knows if they'll even be there?
We haven't
in
even
March.
got to Christmas yet, which is like the unofficial start of NBA.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time to mess
I'm
this up.
sad about this, though. I really want Perloff to have to drive to San
Well,
Antonio.
why don't I
and
drive-
I want Bogish to be hiding in his suitcase. Or like in the Barbie movie.
The reverse Home Alone. You didn't forget me. Here I am.
Like the Barbie movie when she's driving to the real world and all of a sudden up pops Ryan Gosling, Ken, from the back seat. That's going to be Bogish.
Very similar. Thank you for the comparison.
You're our Ken.
Yeah,
I got to be honest,
abs.
driving to OKC to say hi to Chet Holmgren, that's a long drive. That's near nowhere.
Well,
Perloff, just to let you know, Oklahoma, north of Texas.
it's
No,
closer.
I know, but Texas, I can come down, go through New Orleans, see a bunch of friends over there. I have a whole path that I've already planned to go
Perloff's
through
map
OKC. I have
questing.
to,
Distance. It's
I have to
about-
go kind of cut through Chicago. It's just not the same ride.
Yeah, it's not about distance, it's the people.
Yeah, which is apparently why Bogish can't come.
Right.
Because
That's true.
Perloff's got too many friends and he doesn't want to have to explain why.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. It's been so long. Hey, who's this guy? Oh, that's Bogus. Don't worry. Just get him a beer and show him a TV.
You have to say, that's Andrew also.
He just has to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And is it possible he could shower at your place?
No, but again, I'm low maintenance. Just crack a window and I'll stay in the car. It's fine.
Like a
Fancy
puppy.
friends. Yeah, it's fine.
Bogus.
I
I
don't need
guess
much more.
going down the highway with Bogus, sticking his head out the window. Be like, yeah.
Just walking
We're
in the
in a
morning and
car.
at night. I'll be fine.
It's going to be July, man. It's going to be hot. You can't leave Bogish in the car. You'll overheat.
Where were we? Oh, Holmgren, by the way, did have 23 points, 6 boards, and 7 assists. So, yeah,
Wow.
he's good. The Thunder beat the Clippers 134-115 to end LA's 9-game win streak. The Pelicans must really think Zion is
like a Stegozel.
because The Athletic found out that the last 3 years of Zion's contract no longer guaranteed because he only played 29 games last season. So New Orleans could cut bait after the 24-25 campaign with no financial punishment. However, Zion can re-guarantee those years through playing enough games and hitting certain weight checkpoints.
Man, I got to tell you, we've been talking about the Dodgers being smart and Ohtani with all his deferments and, put a yoke-a-yoke on the rest of Major League Baseball. whoever wrote up that Zion contract was also extremely smart.
Well,
was that
Zion's
David
agent
Griffin?
wasn't smart, but
No.
the Pelicans.
The Pelicans
yeah.
got one over on Zion on this one. To put the game limit and the weight stuff in there, I mean, damn, they knew who they were dealing with. Unless you think Zion actually wants to get out of
he can't wait
New
to get
Orleans
out of there.
and he's
And I got to
tanking
tell
himself.
you, I know that he's targeting the Knicks, but I love Zion in Philly. I cannot. You guys
Why
are
do you think he all of a sudden would be able to keep his weight in check or be more available if he goes somewhere
because
else?
he's still a very young player. He's only 23. That maybe he has a second act where he's more mature.
Maybe.
That's my thinking. But they got to get him before he turns 30 because then he'll lose all that explosiveness.
Well, I'm sure going to Philly where you complain about Joel Embiid's weight basically once a week. They're going to hit the treadmill together?
We had Barkley. Barkley kind of fixed his body in Philly.
And you handled Ben Simmons so well, so if Zion's any sympathy, he's going to the right place.
That's
exactly.
That was a Ben Simmons problem. That was not a Philadelphia problem.
Okay.
Don't bring up Ben Simmons. I will stop making fun of the Mets not getting Yamamoto as long as you guys don't bring up Ben Simmons.
No deal.
Did I mention, by the way, that Ben Simmons will be reevaluated in 2 weeks by the Nets because of his current back issue? That was news, I think.
I also love, by the way, how whenever it's a guy going to the Knicks, it's he's going to be fat and old and awful. But as a Sixer, he's like, he'd be great.
Rejuvenated.
He'd be
Second
awesome.
act.
He's not going to be fat. I mean, just isn't usually a 34-year-old point guard who's seen his better days at the Knicks sign. They don't get the fat guys. They get the 6'2 guys.
Oh no,
who's
they
washed.
signed 26-year-old point guards who are going to make their All-Star game this year. Yeah, they're doing really bad in free agency.
Oh yeah, how many rings did Kemba get there? I mean, did they ever get Kemba? I can't even remember.
You're talking about Kemba Walker. Who's starting now? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
Eastern Conference played a couple weeks ago.
And Jalen Brunson, a guy who all he does is dribble the ball all game long, and that's going to work in the playoffs.
You just had James Harden, and now you have Tyrese Maxey. You're talking about guys dribbling all over the place. Give me a break.
Maxey doesn't dribble. Maxey passes the ball. He is not a dribble. He passes it, then runs around and zips around. He's a great team player.
Oh, if Knicks, Sixers happen in the playoffs, it's got to
Something's
happen.
brewing around here.
It's got to happen.
I smell Showbet.
I love
Add
that
it to the docket.
it's like EJ signed Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
It's like he's Leon Rose. I love
know.
it.
Leon Rose is producing our radio show.
Jalen Brunson, regular season player.
That is the worst take you've ever done on this show.
I don't know if that's true. When Luka
That
was
can't
out
be
in the
true,
playoffs
DJ.
in Dallas, I think
High
that was
usage,
really good.
high usage. You got to pass the ball to win in the playoffs. It's how it works.
He was good against the Cavs
He
last
literally
year.
made his money because of what he did in the playoffs.
And when
High
Luka was out in
usage,
Dallas.
high usage point guards. They win a lot of regular season games. We'll see. Name the guy who's won a title that style. That has not happened. And Ja Morant's even a bigger case. Derrick Rose, Allen Iverson. You don't win an NBA title by dribbling and shooting all day long at point guard. That's all I'll say.
I wonder if our white elephant party later is like, did someone get someone like a Julius Randle rookie
Yeah,
card?
I'm about to change this gift that's in his gift bag and just ensure that Perloff gets it.
Okay, so we are going to do our white elephant party. We're going to do it on the air. We're going to do that in about an hour. What did we get for each other? Coal or something else? I don't know. Just kidding. 855-212-4CBS. Your calls on Yoshinobu Yamamoto signing with the Dodgers. I've got a thought on the contract aspect of this and how it relates to Shohei in just a moment. Also, we've got Jerry Jones sound for you. Don't move. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
We're making a bit of this. This is no longer a bit. This is flat out.
Yeah, this is so gross.
Nasty.
I hate everyone. All right, well, I know what the clip was from. That was me eating a jar of jelly. One of the great moments from the Maggie and Perloff show of 2023. I have no idea what this song is, though.
Anybody get this one? It's like plus 10,000
I know.
points.
We're trying to do songs that are from Christmas movies. Is this Die Hard?
Ooh, no.
I was thinking Die Hard, but this is not, clearly not. There's no song like this in Die Hard.
Yeah.
No. You're sort of on the right track, but it's not Die Hard.
Top Gun?
Is that a Christmas
movie? That's a Christmas movie?
I don't know. It was L.A. I didn't know what season it was.
All right. I mean, think Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Jingle All the Way?
There you go.
I never saw it.
I never saw it.
No credit, but you got the movie.
Thank you. 855-212-4CBS. Perloff continues. It's like you're getting a check from him or something. This love of Matthew Stafford. I get it.
It's not love of Matthew Stafford. It's common sense.
Okay, what? Tell me.
So last night was a love fest. Kirk Herbstreit, Al Michaels for Matthew Stafford. And why not? The guy was throwing sidearm passes 30 yards down the field like it was nothing. He is, okay, he's 35, I believe. Let me double check that.
He's 35.
So let's say he plays 5 more years till he's 40. Then 5 years after that, first ballot Hall of Famer. Not just a Hall of Famer, first ballot. He sits at 11th on the all-time.
Just walking out of the office.
He sits at 11th on the all-time passing list right now. He's at 55,000 yards. He will probably end up 5th in the all-time passing list.
And yards right now mean less and less and less. This is an era where the offense has so much of an advantage. Even Tom Brady is out here telling you that this is like not right.
A top 5 all-time passer with a Super Bowl ring, they're going to who's well-liked and actually has been a pretty tough kid, guy throughout his career. There is no way he does not make it into the Hall of Fame.
This is not an anti-Stafford take. I don't want it to get misconstrued, but he is not a Hall of Famer with 1 ring. Guys, 1 Pro Bowl appearance. 1, according to Pro Football Reference.
Yep.
Uno. You're not getting in with that. You shouldn't get in with that. Let me rephrase. You should not get in with that.
No, I think all these quarterbacks are going to get in, and they deserve to. Quarterback is the most important position on the field. He touches the ball on every play. Matthew Stafford, I think when it's all said and done, people are going to look back way more positively. He was stuck in Detroit.
With one of the best wide receivers of all time.
Well, listen, people were wondering, is Calvin Johnson a Hall of Famer? And I'm like, you're insane.
Well, they put him in.
They put him in and he had no success because everyone knew he was stuck in Detroit. Same with Barry. So Stafford's going to get that love too. He's a Hall of Fame level quarterback.
Okay, he's a very good quarterback.
Which is enough to get you into the Hall of Fame.
But that's not right because it's also never been easier to play quarterback, quote unquote, easier. I know it's hard and it's a collision sport, but it's never been, quote unquote, easier to play quarterback and to rack up those kind of yards and impressive numbers. A one-time quarterback, a one-time winner in this era and a one-time Pro Bowler, that means in amongst his peers year by year, he was not considered the best in his conference. So what else are you going to do?
You also can't say this is the most important. This is the era where the quarterback is most important and then explain away why he was a loser for like a decade. You can't do that.
Well, he actually won a surprising amount of games in Detroit for Detroit.
Right. How many playoff games did he win? 1?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's Detroit. Okay, here's going to be the guys who are ahead of him on the all-time passing list. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre. And he could catch all those guys as well. If he's 5th behind that 4, you're going to tell me that you're going to leave him off the list?
But from the time he retires as 5th to the time when theoretically he would get into the Hall of Fame, I bet more guys will end up passing him because the yards are not the thing anymore.
There's nobody even close. Russell Wilson is the next closest active player. Aaron Rodgers is ahead of him, by the way. But Russell Wilson, and he's 14,000 yards behind him. There's no active guys are not accumulating those kind of yards. Stafford did, to his credit. In the late 2000s, 2010s, guys were throwing for 5,000 yards like it was nothing.
Yeah, but Perloff, he's a one-time Pro Bowler, let alone he's never been an MVP. He wasn't Super Bowl MVP. That was Cooper Kupp. He doesn't have enough of the accolades here. He's comeback player of the year, so good for him coming back from an injury. But, like, if he doesn't win another Super Bowl, and to be honest, if he wins 2, he'll get in because Eli's getting in and all that. But, like, he needs another Super Bowl to get in, minimum.
Those numbers, when he retires, are going to be overwhelming, unless he gets hurt.
And overrated.
Maybe, but I mean, the guys behind him are also going to get in. I mean, I have bad news for you. Matt Ryan's getting in. Phillip Rivers is getting in.
At least Matt Ryan was an MVP. Maybe I can squint. I mean, I don't think Matt Ryan should be in, but at least he's an MVP. I know MVP doesn't mean you're automatically in, but MVP in a Super Bowl appearance, I'll tell you what, the guy sitting, 50 feet from us, Boomer Esiason, MVP of the league, Super Bowl appearance, lost in a close Super Bowl, not in. 855-212-4CBS. Not all these guys should be in. 855-212-4227. Coming up, how one college football program may just detonate the entire college football system as we know it. Guys, this stuff is getting exciting. We got all the details for you next. Maggie and Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
She was the Heisman Trophy winner in 1986. He left her off the ballot. They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
Well, don't look now, but the LA Dodgers are now the evil empire. The Yankees, they have to retire that moniker. It now goes to the LA Dodgers. They are the ones who are going to be hated by everyone outside of Los Angeles.
Nobody's calling. Yeah, you might call them a super team, but the evil empire is something the Yankees own forever.
Nope, it's been retired for the Yankees. It now applies to the Dodgers because if you're just joining us, just waking up, maybe just getting your day started, Yoshinobu Yamamoto has signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers pending a physical. We're talking about $325 million over 12 years. And if you're wondering, Maggie, didn't the Dodgers just sign a Japanese superstar? Yes, you're right. Of course, they just signed Shohei Ohtani to a record-breaking $700 million deal. $680 million of it, though, is deferred, which is why and how the Dodgers were able to sign Yamamoto to the single largest contract for a pitcher in Major League Baseball history. Guys, it's called cheating, not maybe by the letter of the law.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
the spirit of it, though, is so cheating, and that is why the Dodgers are now the evil empire.
Oh, my God. I've never seen a more Mets fan take out of you in my entire life.
This is baseball fans.
Oh, this was so fun to see Mets fans. I mean, the Phillies were in on this. I could care less that they didn't get this guy. By the way,
You
he was
just
never
don't
thrown
care,
a pitch.
period. You care about the Phillies for 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's never even thrown a pitch in baseball. Just to see Mets fans have their hopes crushed once again in December, that is that is an unexpected Christmas treat for me.
Listen, I'll tell you why this is not simply a sour grapes Mets or sour grapes Yankees or sour grapes Cubs or sour grapes Toronto Blue Jays, all the people who, well, I guess they were in on Shohei. Like, this is why this is not sour grapes, is because when the Mets were never going to get Shohei, right? Never. We knew that he was not coming to the Mets from very, very early on. And I always thought that $680 million of deferred money always felt like cheating. It felt like Shohei, his agents, the Dodgers were getting one over on the rest of Major League Baseball. And this is not an anti-big market thing, but you don't give the break. You don't give the financial break to the big market. You give the financial break to the smaller market. The big market, why you go there, is to make as much money as humanly possible, as quick as humanly possible. And Shohei did this thing, and credit to him. He did a thing where he said, you don't have to pay me for 10 years. And it allowed them to sign Yamamoto now. And Yamamoto is going to have zero deferred money. Like, this is how
first of all, they could have signed both of them anyway. I mean, they're the Dodgers.
They could have, but like, I still don't think the Dodgers would have gone that far.
Yes, they would have.
Because they're also paying Betts, and they're also paying Freddie Freeman, and they also have other expensive guys. Tyler Glass now, they just gave $100 million to.
First of all, I have to give you a sneak preview. What would have happened if Yamamoto had signed with the Mets? He'd have Tommy John before he even threw a single pitch.
It's just so
that's a fact of life, and you guys, you must know that deep inside your heart
today,
that he would have been a failure.
Okay,
now I do worry too. That's the other thing. This is a starting pitcher that you just gave $300 million to. What happened to Shohei? I mean, he had an elbow injury. I just think that. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Except for being mad about all this situation, it is a risk to spend $300 million, and the Dodgers are trying to spend their way into this thing. And I think one reason people aren't so upset is nobody really thinks this guarantees anything. They know they're going to get into that wild MLB postseason where the Diamondbacks and the Rangers came through this year. So it doesn't guarantee anything. That's why Kate gets so mad at and call them the evil empire.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they don't win,
they probably won't win. It's baseball.
Then it's an all-time failure, and I don't want it to be looked at as anything but. Listen, for the accounting department, it won't be a failure. They'll make all their money because they're going to jack up the ticket prices on you even more. They're going to jack up the beer prices on you even more. You want to buy a pretzel, you're going to have to take out a second mortgage. That's what's going to happen with the Dodgers. They're going to make plenty of money, but let's talk about on the field. If you are going to make these kind of moves and the expectation isn't multiple World Series, why are we even playing the sport?
It's called baseball. Have you followed the sport lately? There's no way that you could predict what's going to happen in the playoffs. To quote my friend Billy Bean from Moneyball, once you get into the playoffs, it's anything can happen. There's no way to guarantee. You can't guarantee a World Series win by spending or even having the best lineup. That's just not how it works.
They damn near just did.
They didn't guarantee anything. And first of all, the Braves have a dream team too in Atlanta. And, there's other great teams as well. And look, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks were just in the World Series. There were tons of big payroll teams, including the Dodgers who didn't get there. Everyone knows that it's not like basketball where you can put together a LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh and get 2 titles. You just can't build a dream team like that.
There should be expectation of multiple World Series championships.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but I don't think everyone's going to put them on the list of the worst deals ever if they don't win a World Series.
I dislike you giving the Dodgers a break and leaving them off the hook for choking. You keep saying it doesn't guarantee them anything. It should. It should. They have the best players. They have the most. They have the most money. They're in a crap division now. Like, you keep saying they didn't win. It's like, well, yeah, that was the problem. Like, they're choke artists. It's to say, like, well, it didn't guarantee them anything. For most franchises who get these kind of players, they would win championships. The Yankees, guess what? When they spent all that money, they won 4 titles in 5 years. The fact that the Dodgers didn't get it done has nothing to do with baseball. It's because they don't perform in the playoffs.
Well, got hurt in the
specifically,
playoffs.
Got hurt too.
Clayton Kershaw has not been a great postseason pitcher. I understand, but I just think that baseball is a much different sport. And the Yankees tried to buy their way into it, and they won with the core 4, but you can't outspend everyone and win a title. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try, but we all know this doesn't guarantee. Are you coming in saying, oh my God, there's no way anyone can beat the Dodgers? Of course you're not saying that, because you know how you've watched this. The Dodgers win 108 games and not go anywhere in the playoffs.
This is the other thing, and I don't know if Dodger fans are going to, are they learning this today? Are they comfortable with this? I have no idea. But you talk about target on your back here. It's one thing to sign great players. And again, nobody, as the Dodgers are building what they currently have now, nobody really could nitpick with it. The Boston Red Sox handed you Mookie Betts, and of course you re-signed him, because why wouldn't you? Freddie Freeman won his title in Atlanta and then wanted to come after he was a free agent at the end of his career. Nobody's going to quibble with stuff like that. The Shohei deferred money, for as much as I personally like watching Shohei pitch and hit, and he is amazing, what he did by deferring that money and how he appeared to skirt so much of baseball's I don't want to say unwritten rules, but how he skirted so much of the financial stuff here by signing the biggest contract and then deferring, $680 million of it, that to me became likable, sure, if you're a Dodger fan, but not if you're everybody else. So
but we like when Tom Brady took less for the Patriots. That was admirable.
There's a salary cap in football. There's no salary cap here.
Then what is he skirting then?
Because they only have to pay they have to pay luxury tax. Yes, that's not a cap.
It's the same function.
No,
though.
it's not, because it is not. The cap, it's way more punitive. You can't go over it in football. In baseball, you just have to pay a luxury tax, which obviously the big rich teams can afford. And they're not paying it on $70 million a year. They're paying it on $40 million a year because of what Ohtani is doing.
So what?
And it left all this so what? It's it so tilts the.
Since when did we love tax?
But you just said it wasn't a salary cap. You just said it's not a salary cap sport anyway. I said it's admirable because Brady did it, and you said, well, yes, because they have a hard salary cap. But if there's no salary cap in baseball that really makes an impact, then who cares if they're skirting it?
You have to be so much more careful and calculated with your roster building when you're at the NFL. Not just because there's 53 people on the roster as opposed to 26, but because of the salary cap. If you're the Dodgers, why would anyone give a financial advantage if you're a player to the Dodgers? They don't need it. Give a financial advantage to the freaking Twins. Give him to the Kansas City Royals. The fact that Shohei is not going to get paid in 10 years just gave the rich getting richer. This is the definition of it. And the Dodger fans, it will help you if you like watching the games on TV. Bless you if you can afford to go to one of these games with a family of 4. But that's a bigger problem across sports. I mean, now you just have Yamamoto. It's it feels like it's cheating.
The thing about the Dodgers, too, they are collecting very, very likable players. I mean, incredibly. I find Shohei the most fun player to watch in MLB right now, aside from my guy, Bryce Harper. Mookie Betts is amazing. They signed Jason Hayward, who's awesome. They have all these cool dudes. The Dodgers are a fun team. I don't care. Why am I going to sit here and wring my hands over a $700 million deal? This is baseball. It's funny money. It's insane.
But
I don't care when the Mets sign someone in the Yankees, or guys like Machado get $350 million. All that stuff. That's all been going on for years now, and it never bothered me.
I don't care about the money either, that it's funny money, but I care when it feels like it's messing with how you can construct a team in the here and now. I have a problem with this much deferred money. Like, if Shohei wants to make $700 million, you should count $70 million a year against the cap, not 40, because you're trying to.
You just said there was no cap. You keep on
against the whatever competitive balance.
I got to tell you, the Dodgers have spent, say, it's worth $460 million in current money is what MLB has labeled the $700 million deferred deal is. They could afford $460 for Shohei and $325 for Yamamoto. They just would have had to pay tax. They could have done this anyway.
So why didn't they?
Well, because it was a great plan to free up space because they have a Tom Brady-like superstar. And I love it. Team first, defer the money. If I'm a Dodgers fan, I'm thrilled, and I actually respect them for it. I wish the Phillies had done that.
So 855-2124-CBS, you're welcome to weigh in. I think this makes the Dodgers the new evil empire. Perloff says no. We should probably put the poll up at Maggie and Pearl on
it's up.
Twitter.
It's up.
You can go there and you can vote. We'll do results in just a little bit.
Doesn't it feel funny to you to say the Dodgers are the evil empire? It just doesn't ring true.
Get used to
like
it, y'all.
The Yankees are the evil empire. Something about the Yankees uniforms. The Dodgers are light blue. They play in that beautiful stadium. You see the sky. That doesn't feel like an evil empire. The Yankees with their pinstripes.
There?
Yeah, the Yankees in pinstripes and George Steinbrenner. That felt like an evil empire. Like dun 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 dun. The Dodgers are like kind of walking on sunshine. I'm being totally serious now. They just don't sell as the evil empire.
Why? Because Magic Johnson is like a fake owner of the team, so you can go out there and smile and tweet about it.
Yeah, I mean,
love Magic.
I just don't think. Sorry, the Dodgers make everybody mad like the Yankees
should
used
now.
To. I don't think it's going to happen. And there's no now. I mean, 5 years ago, they just signed everybody.
No, it's the deferred money on the show.
Oh, come on.
We've been waiting for this contract.
People are not going to dig into that.
They
Who
messed
cares?
around with it.
Nobody. Oh, come on. You just talk about salary cap, and that turns out no regular fan cares about that stuff.
I think people should. And even the most casual fan knows that Shohei got paid a lot of money, but he's not actually going to see that money for 10 years. That part of the story became like the 1A to him signing with the Dodgers. Like, hey, did you hear he signed with the Dodgers for $700 million? And hey, did you also hear he's not getting any of that money for 10 years?
I actually feel like, and this must be my fandom, the Braves have a little more evil empire than the Dodgers because the Braves feel a little more cutthroat than the Dodgers. Just the way they operate. The Dodgers are they are what they are. They don't come off like they're malevolent in any way.
You think that
the Braves will rip you off in a trade so bad?
No, but you're accusing me of saying that fans don't care about Shohei Ohtani's contract and how he gets paid out. Yet you think fans care about the front office messing with the international signing bonus money that made them get in trouble a couple of years ago?
Wait, who's that?
The Braves.
I didn't even know that, but whatever.
What are you talking about then? They signed their own guys to undermarket deals?
Just the nature that if you were to do a theme song for the Dodgers, it'd be Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. Or Carlos, you're the music guy.
I think Katrina the
Waves. Yeah, they're just not an evil empire style of team. And
I'll tell you what, you want to know who else this puts a lot of pressure on? Dave Roberts. He's had some notable gaffes in the postseason and some really big decisions that have been very much second-guessed and rightfully so.
But that being said, you'd have to be insane not to like Dave Roberts.
Of course everyone likes him.
He is the single most likable manager in the league.
I'm not this isn't about love or hate. It's not like or dislike.
But to be evil empire, you need a George Steinbrenner. You need an evil character. And I don't think the Dodgers have that.
It's
who's
the excess.
Yeah, I mean, think about the villain teams in sports. Who was the evil guy on the Heat?
Yeah, but the Heat
people started to hate LeBron because of the decision.
For about 2 years.
We're talking about likability, quote unquote.
Yeah, but like now are the Heat an evil team?
No, I mean like when they had the Heatles.
Well, that was all because
it was LeBron.
That was because of LeBron leaving Cleveland.
Right, but we were talking about personalities, likability.
Oh, right, in real life.
Right, like you're saying Shohei and these guys are cool guys. I mean, LeBron
we don't know them. But.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron seemed like a cool guy. He just decided to go to South Beach.
That's a whole can of worms, and you know that. That is a completely different thing. When the decision, that was actually a hateable moment in LeBron's career. Of course, I like LeBron too, but there was a lot going on there. They generally, though, the Heat are not like the evil empire. They just had that little window after the decision. After LeBron left, nobody hated the Heat.
Well, I think people now we're talking about the Heat. I don't want to get off on a Heat tangent because this is about the Dodgers. They signed Yoshinobu Yamamoto last night. He was at the Rams game with Ohtani. Ironically, people are basically treating Ohtani like welcome to LA when he's been an Angel for 6 years. Like, he's already been there, guys. Like, he may as well have had season tickets to the Rams. We have no idea. But anyway, Yamamoto was with Ohtani last night. That was the tip-off, and then we got the news later.
Know who's an evil empire? I think the Bill Belichick Patriots were a bit of an evil empire.
Well, because they were cheating.
Yeah, I know you think the Dodgers are skirting the rules with this thing, but the Dodgers feel as far as possible from the New England Patriots of football. There's just not that evil empire vibe, and I think Bogusch had a good point. You need to win 3 or 4 championships for people to really start hating
and that should be the expectation.
It is the expectation, but it's baseball. Come on. You know how these postseason work. It's crazy.
Well, there should be exceptions when you basically agree to over $1 billion on 2 players. And you also have 2 former MVP. You have, counting Ohtani, you've got 3. But you know, bets end with Freddie Freeman and Ohtani and Yamamoto. Like, if these guys aren't expected to win multiple titles, then you might as well fold the sport.
But you know how the sport works. A pitcher's elbow is as sensitive as any body part in all of sports. You know someone could get hurt. And that's what happens to the Dodgers a lot. Pitchers get hurt. And then you bring in the bullpen. The Phillies lost the championship series because of their bullpen. Every team, and then the Diamondbacks bullpen got red hot. None of that is determined now. I think we get way too into the stars. The reality is that's not how you win a title.
Can we put another poll question up?
Sure.
Which is the expectation for the Dodgers now? If the Dodgers don't win multiple World Series, will this be a failure? Yes, no. Because I think it'd be yes, and I wish I could vote twice. I'm going to vote from all my burners.
Yeah, create some burner accounts. And
wait, tell me the wording one more time. What did you say?
Accounts.
I don't think is the expectation of World Series is a compelling question, because of course it is. But
if they don't win multiple World Series, is it a failure?
Okay.
What would you would vote
I vote
no,
because I think they win 1 World Series, and it's great.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, coming up next, you're welcome to weigh in on this, of course. You can text us, tweet us. You can't text us. You can tweet us, and you can weigh in on the chat. I misspoke. YouTube.com/CBS Sports Radio, Twitch.tv/CBS Sports Radio. Multiple chats, multiple places where you can come and leave your comments on Yoshinobu Yamamoto signing with the Dodgers. Eat your heart out, Yankees and Mets and Cubs. 855-212-4CBS. Okay, also coming up next, we are going to do our white elephant party live on the air. What type of gifts did we get for each other? We're going to make it move. We're going to be fast.
Oh, it's going to be dicey. I could tell there's going to be fights over gifts.
Did you give out another sweater like the one you're wearing today? Very jolly. 855-212-4CBS. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Oh, the Grinch. Welcome back, by the way. I got a little competitive on this one where Carlos is doing Christmas songs that are attached and associated with Christmas movies.
Is this the old Grinch or that Jim Carrey version of the Grinch?
That one's creepy.
So you get an extra point, Perloff, because that was the Jim Curry version. But
No,
Maggie
he
gets the
asked
full
the
points.
question. He didn't.
Oh, shut up, Bogus.
Listen, he's far behind Maggie.
I had
I'll
the
give him
same
some pity
thought.
points.
Oh, man. I love that's the Christmas spirit. Shut up, Bogish. Welcome to the show. So we're getting competitive about who can name these movies first, but we're about to get in a very giving mood because we're going to attempt to do something on the show. I've never seen another show do this. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but we're going to do a white elephant party on the air right now. We've all got numbers 1 through 5. We've decided a $10 maximum on these gifts. You can watch along youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio, twitch.tv/CBS Sports Radio. And all we ask, if you like what you see, hit subscribe. For every new subscriber we get, we're giving $1 to charity, the Boys and Girls Club, earmarked for youth sports.
Yeah, how on earth is this thing going to work? Anyone have a plan here?
Yes.
EJ and I have thought this up. I think
Yeah.
Bogish is going to be crucial to what we're doing here. So So how White Elephant works is you unwrap a gift, and then whoever's 2 can either unwrap a gift or steal the gift. So
you want to be last, not first.
Wait, so you want to be
for me.
1?
No, you want to be 5.
I want to be 5. So
Oh,
you
we're
get
not
to see
snaking
all-
back down.
No, this is a once around.
Oh, in my family, we go up and down, and it's chaos.
I mean, we have sports to talk about, so
Yeah.
we're going to make this one go quick. I'm going to take whatever's in this bag here. I think this is EJ's gift.
Correct.
All right, let's see what's in the bag.
What's in the bag?
Yes! It's a one of these pop
Funko
television
Pop.
things. This is what Andrew Kaplan made something on AI to look like me and you.
I thought that was real. By the way.
I thought it was real as well.
I was
No,
like,
that's
Maggie's
a
got
new
a Funko
thing,
Pop.
right?
That's mad cool.
This is a Greg Brady from the Brady Bunch. Funko Pop. Basically, it looks like a little doll. I'm keeping it, obviously. Okay, who's number 2?
That would be me, unfortunately.
Okay, Bogish, which one of these gifts appeals to you? By the way, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio, twitch.tv/CBS Sports Radio. What
Now,
would you like of this
the
array?
Funko is interesting, but not Greg Brady Funko, so I'm going to take a present.
Okay.
And I believe Maggie's is in the white paper.
Yep.
And since it's Maggie's, it's probably inappropriate, which is right up my alley. So here we go.
Man, I really thought about getting something that would make everybody blush, but
Yeah, so did I.
I don't want to get in
Thought better
trouble.
of it. We're on nationally.
I did.
I would get fired, I
I
think.
see a football. Total football trivia. This is good. Instead of my son asking me random questions that he makes up, we just have these ones to answer.
Wait, is that a book or a video or what is it?
No, it's a card.
Oh, I love those
It's
games.
like football trivia, like Trivial Pursuit type of stuff. Okay, who got 3?
I'm 3.
Pick it up. Are you going to take the trivia? Would you like
Hand
the
it
Funko?
over, buddy. Football
Yeah.
trivia cards. I'm going to be the life of the party come Christmas with these. I'm taking that.
But now, this is the thing. What do I do now?
Now you get to pick another present.
pick again?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you have to end up with a gift.
Right. All right. So I can't take mine. I want the plaid wrapping paper in the middle.
Oh, I
please.
think that's Perloff. Okay, so far we've got a Greg Brady Funko Pop doll. We've got a football trivia card set.
This is flimsy. This feels like socks or a turtle, a dickie maybe, a scarf. It's wrapped well.
Yeah, my wife wrapped this.
All right.
Phillies socks.
They're festive holiday socks. Wait, what's
Pass.
on them?
Oh, that's
Phillies.
rough.
Safe to say no one's stealing that.
Wait, hold him up to the camera.
Yeah,
I threw
Phillies
them.
socks.
They're beautiful
No.
stance Philly socks.
Here's the thing. This is the nicest thing I can say about the Phillies. I love the light blue maroon combo. I wish they did not belong to the Phillies so I could some way wear them.
You're going to look like Bryce Harper walking down the street, Bogus. That is the prettiest socks I've ever seen in
They
my
are
life.
simultaneously awesome and terrible.
I was, I wish I had 3 pairs because I wanted to give one to
here, you got
Maggie.
mine.
I wanted to give to Maggie and EJ too. I was dying for you guys to open up Philly
Listen,
socks.
it might be could be worse. Could have been the Philly Fanatic. If you're just joining us,
Wait,
you
what-
are in the
no,
middle of our
whoa.
white elephant party that we're doing. So who's 4?
What's wrong with the Philly Fanatic?
Okay, so you've got this. It's like a
Yeah, so-
a big square or a littler square.
All right, so the little square is my gift, so I can't take that one.
Okay,
So
so you could steal the Philly
So
socks.
that's exactly where. No, not the. I can't steal the trivia, right?
You
Like, how
can.
many-
You can
oh,
steal
so
the
yeah,
trivia.
Perloff. In the break, I'm taking that football trivia. So that football trivia.
Oh, so I get to open another
coming
gift.
over here.
Yes.
Carlos
darn
wants
it.
the football trivia.
Wait, so there's a brown one and blue one. Carlos is a blue one.
This is from me. The big one's mine.
Well, I think, Carlos, I'm sure you got something great, but to be fair, I have to take Bogus's, and hopefully he
Because we're
got
best
me.
friends?
No, because he brought
will be on
to
that
get
road trip.
revenge on me giving him Philly socks. Let's see what it is. All right.
All right.
Wow. Oh. So I'm going to get to pick again, I know, because this is Uno, but it's a Marvel version. We all know EJ's a huge Marvel fan.
Wait a minute, though. I think I know what's about to happen here. Didn't you already buy this?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that.
You thought that-
Uno Marvel. I
By the
thought
way,
that EJ already had it.
I love Uno.
Uno's
It's my
awesome.
favorite game.
This is
Yeah.
a great gift. Now, Bogus, technically you went over the $10 limit and spent $11.
I did.
But that's a good call.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't
Bogus might
understand,
win
like,
here.
isn't Uno like a deck of cards? This is a
There's
giant
4
box.
different decks in there, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marvel themed Uno. Okay, well, EJ, you.
I think y'all know what's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
You get a brick.
I'm going to be upset if you don't do it.
Hand that over, Perloff.
All right,
Oh,
Perloff's
okay.
gifts keep getting stolen.
So I get to open another gift. That's exciting.
All right,
By the
this,
way, does everybody
and
here?
this is his no matter
this
what,
is
right?
it.
you
gotta
guys
keep
cheat
this.
at Uno and get rid of cards, hide them under the couch.
No, we're adults.
Uno
Okay.
is hardcore in my
Also,
house.
remind us all never to play cards with Perloff. He
Yes.
cheats against his kids.
Okay, this is blue. This is from EJ. It's double wrapped.
Not for me.
Wait,
No, from Carlos.
from Carlos. Oh, yeah. Oh, Carlos walked in with a bunch of wrapping paper. I'm not surprised because this is really secretly guarded here.
All right, this is our final gift of the White Elephant Party.
Oh, I get my Uno.
It's Uno.
But no,
Spanish
it's not
Uno?
Uno. It's Dos, the world's number 2 card game.
No.
Is this a generic
It's like
Uno?
we all went to the same place. And
Wait a minute.
What
There's
is
a
this?
game called Dos?
Should I know about this? Okay, there's another one. Oh, and then there's Uno. But what is
so I got Uno and Dos.
What is Dos?
It's number 2.
Is it made by the Uno people?
It's literally named by the same people. I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I need to play this because Uno's big in my family. We always fight over it. I never played Dos. That's going to be played on Monday.
Okay, you have to do. I'm looking at the instructions. You use 2 cards that add up to a match. So instead of Uno cards, it's Dos cards.
That's fire.
Wow.
That's fire.
Carlos, beautiful job. I didn't know there was something called Dos.
Wow.
Guys,
I'm really happy.
This
I
is
think we all got what we
Now,
wanted.
can we get Thresh, everybody? Where's the third game?
Yeah, this is like 7-minute abs.
Yeah.
What about 6-minute abs?
No. Let's get crazy.
the deck would have to be like have to be as high as a
it'd be a
Jenga
dictionary.
game.
Hey, EJ, how bad do you want that football trivia?
No, I'm good. You got Marvel
I got
Uno.
Philly socks. I got the
Oh,
only
okay.
unusable thing.
Also,
You might as well have gotten Cole.
I lose.
You know what? Double whammy too, because Bogish was nice enough to buy us bagels this morning
Yeah.
and then got the bad gift.
As I'm Perloff's side in this Dodger Yamamoto thing, too.
That
You're
should
on
make
the
you
right
think
side
twice.
of history on that one.
True. With terrible socks.
And now we're going to ask you to do headlines for us.
By the way, go to work.
So you're telling me the Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto because they deferred $680 million of Ohtani's deal for a decade?
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing. I forgive you.
Back during the whole wheel of cheese, the Dodgers landed the two biggest names of this offseason. Yamamoto's deal reportedly 12 years, $325 million, the biggest ever for a pitcher, and he has no deferrals. But maybe LA is a football town. The Rams have now won 5 of 6 after down the Saints on Thursday Night Football, 30-22. 2 more touchdown passes from Matthew Stafford.
We're relishing the opportunity to come out and play every single day. It goes back to how we work in practice. We push each other so that we feel ultra prepared when we come out here on game day and let it rip.
The Rams' chances of making the playoffs now north of 70%. They're currently the 6th seed in the NFC, while the Saints dropped to 9th, but could be back in a tie for the South lead with a Bucs loss to Saxonville on Sunday.
By the way, what is the most titles one city has ever won in a year? Because now you already got one down with the in-season tournament. The Clippers are the hottest team in the NBA. The Rams are hot. The Dodgers signed Yamamoto.
I mean, they have raised a banner.
USC kind of let you down this year, but generally, LA.
How about USC basketball? Bronny's back.
USC women's basketball, Juju Watkins, superstar. Freshman.
There you go.
But Boston did have 3 at one time, did they not?
Did they go Bruins, Patriots, Red Sox all in the same year?
Or Red Sox, Patriots, winter sport?
Did the Celtics win that one year? Did the Celtics get in that mix?
Remember the Bruins had a goalie, Tim Thomas, who got red hot?
I remember the Bruins year being one of them.
Yeah.
Also, didn't Tampa win 2? And they had the
2,
the
but
Bucks and the Lightning?
Yeah, but 2, but not 3.
Wow.
Has anyone? New York must have done 3 at some point with the
Yes. No. It was the Jets, 1969, wasn't it? The Jets, the Knicks, and
the Mets?
And the Mets.
Miracle Mets.
Yeah.
That was
Nobody remembers that.
69. 68, 69, whatever, the Joe Namath guarantee, and then...
Yeah, but was it... The game was in 70, though.
The game was technically in 70.
But it was the
69
69
first.
and the Knicks NBA championship was in 70.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so
69 into 70.
It was kind of like, it's like...
But they were the 3 reigning champs at the same time.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah. The Jets, by the way, they play next Thursday night with someone other than Aaron Rodgers under center. But again, the useless Rodgers is on the Jets' 53-man roster now, pushing our beloved Nick Bowden. Doesn't matter what his last name is.
Everyone's mad about Nick, whoever this guy is.
Yeah, Nicky B.
We should be.
Why? Who cares? You never cared about him before. Now you care about him because Aaron Rodgers took his roster spot?
He actually scored a touchdown this season, unlike Aaron Rodgers.
He's still going to get paid. They're going to bring him up on the game day roster.
No, because somebody who should have been on the game day roster that would have been brought up from the practice squad now won't.
The
because
trickle-down
Aaron
effect.
Rodgers, right.
I just worry about this for like game day checks and whether this counts towards your vesting. I don't know about those kind of details. But the thing about it, whether you care about Nicky B or not, it's pointless for Rodgers to be on the team, on the roster. He's not going to play. There's no reason he should play. And it's about, practicing? He can still get work in with these guys. What's going to happen in these 3 weeks of practice where he has to be ultra careful that's going to help them for next year?
What's going to happen on the field anyway that's going to help anybody? So why even worry about just to reward the practice squad players?
Well, yeah.
Yes, that's the point. You build a team. You build a culture.
Or just help these guys out financially. Rodgers has made a gajillion dollars. He
on.
doesn't need any of this.
I mean, why don't you save a little money and not have to call up a useless guy?
Well, Rodgers already took a pay cut, but I'm just saying he's already throughout his career. Like, it's a symbolic gesture that I think was important to Rodgers because he wants to say he came back, quote unquote, from Achilles surgery.
No, thank you.
And we all know there's an asterisk by that. And by the way, there should be. He shouldn't play in a meaningless game.
But I love how everyone all of a sudden is paying attention to the Jets practice squad. I mean, Will Grier has been cut and signed 14 different times by New England this year. Nobody cares about the practice squad.
Because of Rodgers.
Right. The Patriots didn't say, oh, you know what, Judon, I know you're out for the year, but we're going to keep you on the active roster. Like Bill Belichick would throw up before he would throw away a roster spot.
Yeah. EJ had the tweet the other day about it. Yeah. All we hear about is it matters. All 53 guys on the roster matter. That every last spot matters. And they're basically giving one away to a guy to be nice to him.
Yeah, but they're out of the playoffs. By the way, Will Grier just signed with the Chargers. That's why he was in my mind.
Very good. I'm glad we know what Will Grier's landed nicely.
Do you notice that Will Grier's been cut? You've done this, Bogus. How many times has he been cut this year?
I don't have to mention it anymore. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you used to do it. Everyone
play.
like, Will Grier just gets cut again. I'm like, what? Nobody cares about this stuff. It's just a Rodgers thing. Sorry,
he probably just got cut right now. We don't know it.
It's a Rodgers ego thing, and that's where Rodgers has started to lose some people. While his pursuit to come back, I thought, was a noble one. The idea that he needs this symbolic gesture, like you're Aaron Rodgers, you don't need this kind of small W because you've already, like, quote unquote, won. You you advance the timeline here. You have everybody hanging on your every word. Like, you got us. Enough. It's like we're already now you're doing things that maybe hurt another guy getting a paycheck. Like it.
Oh, come on. They could have pulled up Aaron Rodgers' dog. It doesn't matter. The Jets season is over. This is all meaningless anyway.
But another thing goes to show it's like he's got such a vice grip on this organization that's starting to rub people the wrong way too. Meanwhile, I don't know if you want the actual Jets brass, running things either. Lesser of two evils because they don't make the right decisions generally anyway. But it's like, when does it end here with the Rodgers placating?
Right. It would have been nice if the Jets, for once, when it doesn't really matter, just said, Aaron, we're good. Like, enough's enough. Like, we did everything. Like, maybe we didn't bring anybody else in because you didn't want anybody here. Maybe we believed too long that you were coming back. Everything is over now. You don't need to be on the roster.
Aaron Rodgers is the guy that tried to run the marathon, didn't get to the finish line, and wants the medal. He's the worst. He's the worst. Look, shout out to him for trying to come back from this Achilles injury. He tried to do something that was historic. And his work ethic and his commitment to it, I have no doubt about. You didn't make it to the comeback. You didn't make it. Sorry. You don't come back on the roster.
He wins 2 games next year, you're going to be right back on that bandwagon.
Right,
if he
finishes a game next year, you're going to love it.
That's him doing something on the field.
Yeah. Right, which is going to happen next year.
Right, but this crap is crap.
Cut that. So there's actually another controversy brewing in our chat, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio, twitch.tv/CBS Sports Radio. If you're watching, we all just opened our white elephant gifts for each other. We did a white elephant party on the air, and I thought it went swimmingly because the big winner here was 2 games of Uno that got handed out. One, EJ took Perloff's Marvel-themed Uno gift that was Bogish purchased, which was a great one. And Perloff ended with Carlos's gift, which was not only a game of Uno, but a game of Dos, which most of us didn't know existed until just now. So Andrew Kaplan is in our chat. By the way, Kaplan was invited to this. He just could not leave the stream, so we appreciate him.
But let me guess, he's going to stir the pot right now?
Well, he said he couldn't believe that Uno's our favorite game. He didn't realize that everybody, even EJ said, didn't realize everyone loved Uno this much.
Well, I'm not saying it's my favorite game, but I love it.
Well, Jacob Summers is in the chat saying Uno is like Monopoly. It will end relationships.
Yeah.
I've gotten into family fights over Uno.
It's funny because family fights have happened because of Monopoly in my in-laws, not my family, in-laws family. But Uno seems harmless.
Yeah.
In high school, after school, those Uno matchups were just like you avoid the fist fights, avoid the yelling
over Uno.
Uno.
Dropping a pick 4 on somebody is a draw 4. That's a hefty punishment. That's a swing.
But you can screw anybody in your family.
Right.
You're deciding who you're going to screw over.
You said dropping a draw 4, that's a swing?
Yeah.
Is this Ja Morant? Is this like a pickup game at Ja's house?
I had an emotional reaction when he said that. Draw 4. I'm 2 cards away from getting out of this thing, and you're going to draw for me? I thought you loved me.
Especially because there'd be games that you're playing half hour. You're trying to get there. At a certain point, you're like, all right, let's get the game over with.
Right.
And that person drops a draw 4. Someone who has like 10 cards.
Well, the Monopoly, why this can sometimes, like we have one person in our family who we can't play because of him anymore. Because he's not only trying to win, he's trying to bankrupt everyone, right? And it's a slow burn and it lasts for hours, and Monopoly can be painful.
Monopoly's boring.
But I don't find Uno to be that cutthroat.
Growing up, we used to have fights over Trivial Pursuit because
categories too.
You always have a relative who sort of read the question in a way that nobody can understand what's going on. Can you read that again? Yes, in 1872, the Moors. Yeah, and they were like, Uncle Robert, what the heck did you just say? I'm not reading it again. What do you mean you're not reading it again? We're on a wedge.
Wait, Bogus, did you just say categories?
Yeah,
how does that?
Categories is awesome.
About proper nouns and stuff?
Yeah, like does it count as is it the actual correct answer? Are we accepting that?
Well, here's the thing about categories. Because of that multi-sided die, if you actually threw that, you might hurt somebody. It's a 26-sided dice.
You know what the worst game of all games that I have to play with my kids? Life. Life is so boring for an adult. Have you guys played Life growing up?
Not in a long time.
Oh, it's so boring. My kids love it. You put the little pegs for the family in the back seat.
Maybe once you get to like around our age, it's not as fun because you're like, get married and have kids. Been there.
It's not a game.
It's like, wow, cool.
Like,
we've got a 4-door sedan. Lucky us.
Yeah, you get $200 from the bank. You're like, yeah, but I'm not going to sleep for a month. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not a fair trade. Anything else?
It's not important.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the White Elephant Party went well. Kudos, everyone. Great gifts. Love
Yeah,
it.
Philly sucks.
Yeah, except for Bogus, who got totally screwed by Perloff. 855-212-4CBS. We do have to get to the ripples of one big decision in college football. It's looming. It's out there, and it might mess everything up. We'll get to that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Is this Elf? Yay! Carlos is playing Christmas music that's associated with Christmas movies. And I'm smoking Perloff as we've been keeping track here, right?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's not a close.
I'm the Rams last night over the Saints. Just this thing might look respectable by the end, but it's a blowout.
I'm going to score two late touchdowns and a 2-point conversion and get back into this.
She just went on Puka Nakua on you.
Yeah.
Okay. 855-212-4CBS. We've been talking a lot about the Dodgers getting Yamamoto last night, becoming the new super team, new evil empire. Meanwhile, a lot of things are going on in college football, most notably Florida State. Now, there is going to be a massive meeting this morning, Perloff. The powers that be at FSU are trying to look at every possible angle they can to get out of what has been called an ironclad contract with the ACC. Now, they're not alone in this. There's other schools in the ACC that do want to leave the conference, or at least are looking into the possibility of leaving the conference, but FSU is leading the charge. And here's what's crazy about it. If the College Football Playoff Committee had just put FSU into the Final Four, maybe FSU isn't turning all of their attention to make this like their number one cause.
And the other irony that's funny is just the last year of the Final Four. They never would have had this problem with 12. I get it. I say that Florida State, blow it all up. Why not? You got screwed. And I understand their sentiment. And I don't believe there's any ironclad contract in college football because I've heard this so many times. We can't expand on the BCS. We can't expand past 4. Of course you can. If the dollars are right, everybody will figure it out.
Okay, so here's why. I'm going to give you the quick recap of why people think this is ironclad. So the ACC schools grant the conference something called the grant of rights. We give the conference our rights fees, and you guys can go negotiate a television contract with it. So to get out of that, this first of all, this new contract hasn't even started yet. It goes from 2027 to 2036. And the exit fee is $120 million per school if you want to exit the ACC. And not only that, the ACC would still have the media rights to all of your home games. Even if you did pay that $120 million and got out of the ACC network and conference would still have the rights, the media rights to your home games until the end of the contract in 2036.
So it's America. Just break the contract.
Well, I don't think it's that easy.
I don't know.
I think
college
the lawyers
football.
here
There's
have
no
a
laws.
point.
It's a wild, wild west right now. You're telling me you could give me all the legalese you want. We all know there's a way out.
Okay,
I don't know what it is, but there's a way out. And if I'm Florida State, I'm going to find it. You could have a sit-in, say, you know what, we'll stay in the conference, but we won't try or something. I don't know. Just do something. They can try. They have some leverage just by pure common sense.
Well, but I just don't think they do at this time. And listen,
Do you want to bet? I'll bet you anything Florida State it was out of the ACC in 5 years.
Well, okay, so let's talk about what would happen if that happens. If this contract does get broken, and if you no longer have to honor this contract, the teams in the ACC no longer have to honor this contract, and they can join the Big Ten or join the SEC or whatever they want, then there goes another conference.
Right.
The Pac-12 is already going to be gone.
Sure.
Now the
Washington State and Oregon.
I'm sorry, the Tupac might still be alive, but the Pac-2.
It's just fun to say Pac-2. That's sorry.
But you know, the Pac-12, which was a proud conference, you know, for many, many years, is now dissolved. If Florida State breaks this, here are the teams that would likely want to leave: Florida State, Clemson, Miami, North Carolina, NC State, Virginia Tech, UVA. The conference would no longer exist. That's it for the ACC.
Yeah.
Poof, goodbye. That means, what are we left with here? You're talking about the Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12. We're basically just blowing up the model completely at this point. Like that, this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. If a court actually would rule that FSU could get out of this contract with the ACC, we are like two stepping stones away from what Chip Kelly has been talking about with a 64-team major college football conference and a 64-team group of 5 conference.
It's a miracle that we're not there yet. But it was 2019 or 2020. It seemed like it was 2 weeks away from the new model coming because the conference is clearly, it started with the Pac-12 being incompetent at every turn, but it was very clear that there were not 5 big conferences. There are 2 conferences, really a 1A and a 1B with the SEC and the Big Ten. The rest of it just does not work. But just take one step back. Florida State, to have Boo Corrigan, the NC State athletic director and former Dookie, get up there and say, Alabama's in and you're out, I would have said, I'm never playing in this conference again.
Well, also people are upset with the ACC commissioner, Jim Phillips, because he wasn't out there stumping for FSU. You know, like the FSU.
Yeah, Alabama had everybody stumping for them.
Of course. And Alabama, Nick Saban, Greg Sankey, I mean, this year, last year, like, okay, so people believe that if Alabama was in the same situation as FSU, like they lost their quarterback, but they continued to win, that they still would have gotten in.
Yeah, they were the number 1 watched team in this year. Of course, it's a TV product. They're the most popular team they would have been in. So that's a fact.
855-212-4CBS. The irony here that leaving FSU out, and FSU could now blow up the entire college football model as we know it, is unreal.
Wait. Just to be clear, though, that model was already super shaky. This is not about Florida State. This is about much bigger issues.
Let's go to Bobby. He's in Anderson, California, wants to weigh in on the Dodgers. They landed Yamamoto last night, already got Shohei Ohtani, of course. They traded for Tyler Glass now. They've got this beyond super team. Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Maggie, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
First of all, thank you for having me on the show.
Thanks
Second off, Perloff, I'm still upset about talking about football was better today than 20 years ago. But
that was on Wednesday
show. Dodgers, I would say that if they don't win at least one, you could consider it a failure. But will we also consider the Yankees acquiring every bat that's explosive not a failure if they don't win?
That's a great question.
This year because of Juan Soto? The Juan Soto trade?
Well, yeah, because you have Stanton.
Yep.
You have Judge, the ultimate closer, and now you put Soto. So what pitcher wants to see any one of them in the box, one of them in the on-deck circle,
That's
and one
crazy.
to come right up after?
Bobby, you're right. Expectations. Thank you for the phone call. Expectations for the Yankees as well. Coming up, the one story you got to hear.
You're in a 5-minute break. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
She's a violin prodigy. Her full name is Maggie the Stallion. They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
While you were sleeping, the Dodgers became the evil empire. I'm sorry if I'm the one who has to break that news. Hey, good morning. It's Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, CBS Sports Radio. The Dodgers already had signed Shohei Ohtani. Perloff, richest contract in baseball, period. And then we got the details. $680 million of that $700 million contract is deferred for 10 years. So they had all this money kind of burning a hole in their pocket. And what do? They go sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the best and most exciting pitcher on the market. He's the equivalent of a 3-time Cy Young winner in his native Japan. Took $325 million over 12 years, and he is a Dodger.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Dodgers next year. They're the one team that I'm going to tune in out of market most. I love watching Shohei hit. I love Mookie Betts. I'm curious about Yamamoto. I worry about he throws the ball quite violently. He feels like an injury risk at $325 million, but this is my B team now. I'm into it. Why do you think they're evil? I have no idea. How can you not like Shohei?
Listen, I can like these individual players. Like you may have liked a couple of the players on the Yankees when they were the evil empire,
Not really.
But I do not like what this represents for baseball. You don't give the financial break to the Dodgers, the team that doesn't need it. Shohei Ohtani gave an unprecedented workaround for LA, and now they got to sign Yamamoto too. It feels like they're skirting the rules. It feels like they're stacking the deck in a way that is not like the Yankees never dreamed of this kind of thing. Not that they never defer money.
And that's a positive
but not to
for the
this
Yankees
level.
yeah, the Dodgers were smarter and Shohei's camp was smarter. I like this team first. It feels a little bit like Bryce Harper coming to the Phillies and taking a little bit less money per year because he wanted to build a champion.
A little less money. This is deferring $680 million of $700
But
million.
It's not like he's crying poor. It's a $700 million contract.
Yeah, but you didn't actually build a team in the way that we expect teams to build. Like you're bidding on the biggest free agent to ever hit the market in baseball history. And instead of that having to matter for your bottom line now, they're not making it matter for another decade. So there's no team, like there's no aspect of this that feels like you're staying within the competitive realm.
But let me ask you a question. Did the Mets do this, I assume, with Bobby Bonilla, and that's why nobody cared when they did it? What's the big deal now?
People should care about this.
People are making fun of the Mets because it turned out to be such a bad deal. But I don't remember everyone saying, oh, they're skirting the law.
First of all, you're going to take Bobby Bonilla who's making $1 million for the next 30 years. This is or 20 years now,
It was deferred in the same, it's very similar. That was a huge contract at the time.
At the time, this is $680 million that's going to pay out in $68 million a year chunks starting in 10 years. These two things are not even on the same planet.
But weren't they deferring a chunk of their current salary to the future? I mean, what year was Bonilla? It was a much bigger deal then. I remember that contract was gigantic at the time.
Well, this blows it out of the water. And I don't think that these teams that have every financial advantage should get even more so. Because here's the thing. Even if the Dodgers have all the money in the world, if Ohtani had not deferred that money, they're probably not signing Yamamoto. Like, even everyone has, while there technically is no limit to what you can spend in baseball, at some point, it may not become cost effective for the team, no matter how much money Ohtani is bringing in sponsorships.
By the way, I just doubled. Bonilla at the time he signed in 1991 was the single biggest contract in all four sports. So it's the same thing.
I'm not saying that no one does this, but will you not admit that this does feel much different what Ohtani did than everyone else?
No, it feels exactly the same as Bonilla because it was the number one contract and it was all deferred. So it's almost the same thing.
Well, there's some things with the Bonilla thing that's different. So the deferred money didn't happen until towards the end when he came back, and then they came up with this agreement to have the money be deferred. Also, the Mets were one of the worst teams in baseball when they signed Bonilla, so it wasn't like the rich getting richer. It was a team that was kind of lost their way from the 80s and was trying to get their way back into being relevant.
Okay, but here's the bottom line, and this is a fact, and you guys are going to try and argue me on this, but you know you're lying. If the New York Mets, your favorite team, both you and EJ, if they had done this, you would have thought it was a brilliant move.
I would have no problem because I'm okay being the villain. The Dodgers have to realize that they're the villains now. You want your cake and eat it too. You're spending more money than anyone. It feels like you're cheating, the rules here, yet you want to be likable. You can't have it both ways with stuff like this. And you're saying the Dodgers are more likable than ever, and I'm telling you that's not the case. On top of it, the expectations for the Mets, if they did this, I know you love talking about the Mets. I get it. They lost out. They wined and dined Yamamoto. They lost out to him. The Yankees lost out to him too. But if he came to New York, the expectation would be what?
Prep the surgery room for Tommy John in 3 weeks.
Okay. Well, it would probably, listen, that could happen with Ohtani. He's already had 2 Tommy Johns. But here's the thing. You have an expectation that you have to live up to these contracts. And that means winning World Series. This is another way you want the cake and eat it too with the Dodgers, where you're saying they can spend all this money and they have no expectations to win titles. Nothing means anything in your world.
I never said they have no expectations, but I think that people are not going to kill them if they don't go on a 4 World Series run because everyone knows baseball playoffs are totally chaotic. Here's the thing.
Why do they think they have to stack the deck to this degree if they think it's a crapshoot in the playoffs?
Because might as well. Here's the thing, too. Come April, May, what is the one team everybody's going to want to see? They finally got Shohei away from Anaheim, and they got him to the Dodgers. It is going to be must-watch TV. And I don't think the average fan is going to be worried about the contract structure. I think they're going to be like, oh, man, we got Mookie up first, then Shohei, and then Freddie Freeman. This is exciting.
You have to expect that people are going to, tune in, and a lot of people now are going to tune in to hope you lose.
If you think it's anything like the Yankees, then I don't think you guys are reading America. I just don't think the Dodgers are ever going to get that kind of animosity.
What? There you go.
Yeah, it was also Steinbrenner, too. You got to remember, there was so much more to it than just Like the Dodgers owner is a bit anonymous right now.
Well, it's the
Blackstone
Guggenheim Partners.
Yeah.
And Magic Johnson is basically the face of it, which, again, it's hard to hate on Magic.
Well, Magic's and also
figurehead.
Frank McCourt's still secretly involved. Like, there's a lot going. Yeah, no, I have some friends who work for the Dodgers. Like, the Dodgers have a very complicated ownership group. I think he still owns a parking lot.
It's the Guggenheim Group.
Yeah, it's a Guggenheim Group, but there's a lot going on. Like, this is a corporate team. That's the other thing, too. They're an anonymous face. They're basically
America
corporate
definitely
America.
loves corporations.
Well, yeah, but they don't have a singular bad guy. Like Steve Cohen, if he had done this, people would have, they don't have a guy you can yell at. Steve Cohen is a big face. Like, if he had done this, people would have hated it.
And he's a controversial guy for his life in the financial world. EJ has some poll results for us.
So we put out 2 polls. First one being, do you now hate the Dodgers after the signing of Yoshinobu Yamamoto? 68% say yes, 32% say no. We also asked, if the Dodgers don't win multiple World Series titles, is this spending spree a failure? 90% say yes, 10% say no.
Exactly. So I think I'm reading America right here. Or at least,
multiple World Series? Wait, what was it saying?
If the Dodgers don't win multiple World Series titles, is this spending spree a failure?
If they win one, nobody's going to say, oh my God, that was a mistake to sign these guys.
90% of the people who respond to that poll would say so.
Well, the 10% are my people.
855. Perloff will put out his own competing
Perloff, the
poll.
10%er.
Yeah, 85.
Yeah, but a lot of trust me, a lot of my followers in LA, they'll side with me. Like, I don't think this is a East Coast bias here.
No.
The Dodgers are fine. Everyone, put on your blue. It's the Dodgers' year. I love this team.
This is the difference between certain teams, and I'll take your word for it on the Dodgers fan base. But if this was Yankees or Mets, it's their own fan bases that are putting the pressure on the team to win multiple World Series. That's the difference. Maybe that's why people don't want to play here. I don't know. But if the Dodgers fan base is really saying one and we're good, then they're not holding their team to a high enough standard. 855-212-4CBS. Okay, you're welcome to weigh in. We also want to do something fun here where we want to take a little look back. Coming up in the next segment, about 20 minutes or so, 15, we are going to reveal the number one moment from the Maggie and Perloff show in the year 2023. Perloff and I do not know what it is. I was a little surprised that you eating the chili did not make number one. So in the spirit of looking back over the year, we want to look back at the biggest sports stories from 2023, but we're going to put a little Maggie and Perloff twist on it. We're going to make this a draft, a snake draft between the four of us of the biggest sports stories of 2023. There you go, a little music. There we go. Now, we didn't decide who was going to go first here.
Well, I think since we did we should do the reverse order
of the gifts?
The gifts. Right.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, man.
I'll go first, which is not great, really.
Wow, you get the number one overall pick.
Yeah, but then I get the last pick for the last one.
Okay, so EJ and then Carlos.
Oh, okay.
And then Perloff and then me.
So.
Beautiful touch.
With the number one pick for the biggest story in sports in 2023, I will take Aaron Rodgers signing with the New York Jets, or traded to the New York Jets.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers, and that includes everything, like the darkness retreat, the FaceTiming,
yes,
Brian Gutekunst, everything.
That weird, Pat McAfee stuff. It includes it all. Just the Achilles tear.
The one thing it does not include is actual any football, by the way, ironically.
It includes 2 snaps, but
yeah,
that's all we had. So I'm going to say that's the number one pick. That's my number one pick. Number one overall pick in the Maggie Perloff draft.
Okay, Carlos, you're up next.
The second overall pick for the biggest story in 2023, the Carloses select Michigan sign-stealing scandal.
Good one.
A real good one.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Show bet really riding on Michigan versus Alabama. Who's going to be wearing a wrestling singlet? Will it be Perloff and Carlos? Will it be EJ and myself? Stay tuned.
All right. Well, you left me a sort of big figure in sports this year. Prime time. Deion Sanders in Colorado taking over the sports world. Not just his coaching style and his brashness, but just the fact that he really said the transfer portal is the way to win in today's sport. Worked in the beginning of the season. and I think it's just beginning. Deion, who was a Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year, was, I would argue, even bigger than Rodgers and bigger than Michigan.
All right, you've got some big ones here. So it's a snake draft, which means I have picks 4 and 5. You guys are thinking too local. You want to talk about the biggest sports stories of 2023? It's Live Golf. It's the Saudis. An entire sport got completely blown up. It had politics in it. It had everything. It had the biggest stars of the game flip-flopping. They're all mad at each other. Rory's still mad. Live Golf, number 4, and Saudi money coming into American sports is my 4th pick. And because I'm going back-to-back,
I'm worried you're going to take mine here.
Again, you guys thinking too recent. This happened at the very beginning of 2023, and it became a story that transcended sports. Damar Hamlin nearly dying on the football field, being brought back to life. Everyone was on pins and needles to see what was going to happen to Damar. This happened technically in January.
Oh, it did?
Of
Okay.
2023.
That was week 17?
It was the second to last week of the season.
Wow.
Damar
I did not
Hamlin.
realize that. Okay.
Yep, it was January 2nd, I believe, of 2023.
Okay.
Damar Hamlin.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm just going to give a hand gesture for my next story. Does this ring a bell?
John Cena?
Yeah, it was like John Cena came back.
It is John Cena,
Oh, okay.
but it was co-opted by Caitlin Clark and then Angel Reese.
That's a good one.
I think the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese blow up. Caitlin Clark, I think the biggest women's college basketball star probably in history, I will say that. And Angel Reese, not feeling it. LSU dominates them in the title game. And I think both of them are now gigantic stars because of it. That was a really fun women's tournament, which is now blowing away the men's tournament. I could say it. You're a woman. The women's tournament this year is going to be fire right now. The men's tournament, like Florida Atlantic and San Diego, I'm sorry, lovely stories. But right now, I want to see Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese meet again. It would be amazing.
All right, we are doing a snake draft of the top sports stories of 2023. Carlos, you're up with your second pick. We only have 2 more to go.
By the way, Maggie, we're like simpatico because I also had Live Golf and PGA on my paper here. So my scouts are very upset that I didn't pick them earlier. For my second pick, I'm going to go with the death of the Pac-12. The Pac-2 will be my story of 2023 in the second round.
It's a massive one, and we have arrived at our final pick in the 2023 biggest sports stories of the year draft.
I'm so excited to make this pick because when we think about sports, you got to also think about sports entertainment.
Sure.
My pick will be CM Punk.
Oh, no.
Fired by AEW, returns to WWE. It had tens of millions of views on YouTube. It dominated social media for, honestly, it still is dominating social media. Every time he shows up on Raw and has a moment, it's gone viral. The CM Punk saga, the end of the AEW era where he beat up some other wrestler behind the scenes that got him fired. We had the great Bryan Danielson come on this show and confirm that he was indeed one of the people who were responsible for his firing. That went viral on social media. And then, of course, hey, it's clobbering time! And then, of course, CM Punk's return at Survivor Series. So,
wait,
CM Punk.
If we're doing entertainers, then how come no one has Taylor Swift?
Yeah, Swift and Kelsey. So let's, a little of what we left out here. I'm a little surprised that Kelsey and Taylor Swift didn't make it.
Well, there's an argument, is that a sports story? Just like CM Punk, you might argue,
That's a work.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
so
Taylor
let's-
Swift made more people mad than anyone this year. All the old school football fans are like, why do you keep on flashing up to her in the box?
So we'll just recap quickly. EJ's team, biggest sports stories of 2023. EJ had Aaron Rodgers returning and CM Punk returning to WWE. Carlos had Michigan sign stealing scandal and the death of the Pac-12. Perloff had Deion Sanders' season at Colorado and the Angel Reese Caitlin Clark rivalry. I had Live Golf and the Saudi money blowing up the PGA, and Damar Hamlin, who had his incident on the field January 2nd, 2023. So it was like the first big sports story of the year. What did we get wrong? What did we leave out?
We left off the Joker. That's one I looked at. Nikola Jokic and the horse racing and all that funny stuff. Did anyone think about that?
I thought about him.
Also, Lionel Messi coming to Miami.
That was big.
I thought about that too.
That was a big one.
Yeah, the fact that Miami wasn't able to like compete for a title or something because I guess they were already too far behind felt like it ended a little flat. He got hurt. It was big.
Huge. All right. Let us know, what else did we forget here? Biggest sports stories of 2023.
We didn't put 62-7 Georgia over TCU, but I was like, I want to put in a college football game. That was not a game.
No, I mean, them beating Michigan, but TCU beating Michigan. But okay.
That was actually December 31st. That was last year.
Oh, it was December 31st.
I remember because I was in Florida watching it.
Good call. That would have been a technicality. Coming up, we're going to reveal the top moment of the Maggie and Perloff show from 2023. What could it be? We're going to all be surprised together. Perloff and I have no idea what made number one on the list. It's Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
Dun, 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 dun.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
I'm feeling some discomfort in sort of the upper region of my.
Okay, yeah, talk us through it. Walk us through it.
Yeah, so my stomach feels okay. The rest of me, I don't know. There's something going wrong.
You can breathe, right?
All right, welcome back. Stream the NFL on Westwood One for free, sponsored by AutoZone. All season long, you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the NFL live on the NFL app by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports or in the Odyssey app. Get in the zone. AutoZone. AutoZone's free battery testing and charging is available for free at your local AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Restrictions apply, and I want to keep talking so I can steal this song from Maggie because Carlos is in the song, and I know what it is. It is Timothy Burton, that Christmas on Elm Street movie or whatever.
Wait.
It's called Nightmare on Christmas.
Point for butchering the movie.
Nightmare on Christmas.
Christmas on Elm Street.
You're getting closer, Perloff.
Halloween, Christmas night.
You're getting. All right, I'm just gonna give it to you. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's
Did
a good
you know
one.
that one?
I did not know that.
Oh,
so you
yeah,
can
yeah.
have it. But Christmas on Elm Street sounds
that was a scary Christmas.
What'd you unpack? It was a bloody knife or something. Welcome back to the show. A lot going on here. We've got major reveals. But Bogus just came in wearing the Philadelphia Phillies socks that were part of our White Elephant party.
Oh, those are so handsome.
That we did on the air.
They're very comfortable, too.
Is that Andrew
painful.
Bogus or JT Realmuto sitting next to me?
Seriously, there's a sweet embrace of Bryce Harper on my ankles right now.
Okay, so you heard when we just came back from break. That was Andrew Perloff. One of the great moments of the Maggie and Perloff show in 2023 is the day you took on the peanut butter challenge. It was controversial.
Yeah.
People inside this building did not want this to happen. They were afraid. They were scared. Think pieces were written about this in media blogs saying to make radio fun again. Perloff became a touchstone for what you can and cannot do on the air. I mean, you were really like a canary in the coal mine with this.
Yeah.
And for everyone and all of our listeners, not only did you do this and win this challenge, you powered through to eat a jar and 3/4 of peanut butter.
Now, I don't use the term hero lightly, especially when it comes to myself. That was a heroic act.
But
that was a heroic act.
You know, I got to say, as someone who was sitting next to Perloff during that entire challenge, it did feel like you were in a zone. Like it was the athletic achievement of your life.
Well, it actually really wasn't, because I'll be honest, the way the bet started, which nobody ever remembers, is I was I was watching a Monday Night Football game and I started up on a jar of peanut butter. Next thing I know, I'm done the jar of peanut butter because I could down a jar of peanut butter right now. The second jar,
well, we're going to put that to the test.
The second jar caused some sort of toxin to be released inside my body, and I was sick for a week, but it was still a good time.
Okay, so that was number 3 on the top 5 lists of greatest moments of the Maggie and Perloff show in 2023. A little refresher. Yesterday, we revealed number 2.
Leaning in, nose first, mouth is open. Oh, there's tongue contact with the cheese. He is very delicately breaking the film. We get our first look. Orange.
Too much cheese.
Orange is the color of Skyline chili on your face. Oh, this is a deeper dive. There is juice cascading off his nose.
It's good.
Is it?
Yeah, you want some?
Not now.
When Bogish called Perloff the Bizarro Braveheart, I think is when we knew this was going to become an all-time moment in Maggie and Perloff show history.
I don't think that color has a name. It's a rare. It was radioactive.
It's not natural.
Orange.
That's true.
It was
nothing natural about that.
It was amazing. It was the first week we had moved to mornings.
Yeah.
You had to pay off this bet. You lost a bet to me about Joe Burrow's contract. The details, what does it matter? It meant that that Perloff had to eat a bowl of Skyline chili with no hands.
It's not really a bet unless you have to wear a poncho. That's the rule around here.
All right, so let's get to it. The number one moment. We need a second? All right.
Yeah, there's a little bit of technical issue. Give me a second.
Okay, technical issues is number
this
one.
This crap is crap.
And it's not EJ getting hired for this job? Is that?
That was 1A.
Okay.
That was 1A.
Honorable mention?
Well, considering he made this list, maybe it is one. He was the executive producer of this show and of this list.
Yeah, I mean, he should do the best moments of the two guys we wanted before. Whoa!
Don't say it.
I'm not going to end the year because that's absolutely not true. I'm only saying that as a joke. There were 4.
So what could it be? There's a lot of things to choose from here. I mean, we've had a lot of pretty amazing moments. I can't believe it's
I have no idea how we topped all these things. You ate a jar of jelly and I ate a jar of peanut butter, and there's something better than that?
Honestly, and we'll just foreshadow some of the bets we have coming in 2024 that have yet to be paid off.
Please no.
A lot riding on this Alabama-Michigan game, especially for Perloff and Carlos, me and EJ. EJ and myself are betting that Alabama is going to win this game. If Alabama wins the game, that means Perloff and EJ both have to wear a wrestling singlet for the show.
And for the record, it's just win. No cover, no spread, no pushing. It's just straight win.
Yes, because I'm afraid I'll be fired if I try to put a spread into a show bet ever
that was
again.
not good.
Spike Eskin, our boss, did not like that, and we all got punished for
because
it.
the Eagles were playing the Bills, our teams, and you're like, yeah, you're going to give me the points, right? That's not the point of being a fan. You don't walk out of the building and say, we just lost Super Bowl, but we covered.
Yes.
Woohoo.
So anyway, yada, yada, yada. If Michigan wins, then
I wear a singlet. No,
if
Maggie
Alabama wins, EJ, excuse me, if Alabama wins, I keep messing this up. If Alabama wins, Perloff and Carlos have to wear the singlet. If Michigan wins, that means EJ and myself have to wear the wrestling singlet. This is in honor of Ric Flair going to Michigan at the height of the sign-stealing scandal. So he's a wrestler.
But pro wrestlers don't usually, except for Kurt Angle and a few others, do not wear singlets.
I know, but we don't have the budget for like a WWE outfit.
Yeah, I would love to dress like Ric Flair.
I mean, we could amend it if we wanted.
You know how much
just like Hulk Hogan,
like actually Ric Flair worn robe or jacket, whatever you want to call it. Those are like $150,000.
Yeah, we don't have the. We just did a white elephant party where the maximum was $10. We do not have that kind of cheese around here.
I'm going to be like that guy who's wrestling the superstars, and from Toledo, Ohio, it's Mike Jones, and he comes out with the black singlet. Oh God.
Boo.
Yeah, and then he loses, and he gets one punch in, and then he gets killed.
So we've made it. We have come down to the number one moment of Maggie and Perloff in 2023. I feel bad.
Maggie feels so guilty right now.
I do feel really bad about this. Okay, just no matter what.
Can I help you with this?
Help me how?
I just want to remind you of something.
What?
That I'm wearing an Eagles shirt. I lost this bet because of the Eagles. Yeah. Because they lost Super Bowl. At least we made the Super Bowl.
Oh, now you got to go. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. All right.
Get the wipers on the old eyes here.
Bet paid. Let's get
How's it look?
You look great.
Okay. Now back to Daniel Jones' salary cap situation. I think it's a non-exclusive tag.
Wait, where is it? Oh, man, Perloff. You did that like a champ.
Wow.
How cold was that?
So we did lots of pie challenges at the DP show.
Yeah. How cold was that and soupy?
It was cold and soupy. We clearly have a lot of room for improvement here at the Maggie and Perloff show because it was a liquid. Oh, that's getting gross. Yeah. So, it was a melted pumpkin pie.
Oh, my.
And I don't know. There's so much plastic in the studio right now, and I don't know if any of it worked.
Wait, hold on. Somehow you have it all on your back. How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. Because of you.
Back. I'm sorry. All right.
Oh, boy.
Stu, did we get the shot?
We did, yes. We got a pretty good shot, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. How did you hear what he just said?
I don't know. I thought I saw his thumbs up.
How did you do as far as getting shrapnel? Just a hand?
I'm perfect, actually. I'm good. Not a drop on me.
Now, Mike Samter said that he wanted to eat the pie that was left over.
Yeah, you want to drink this up now,
Yeah, Mike.
Oh.
You want
Have at it.
You want some of this?
Wow. That's an upset. I did not see that coming. Me giving Perloff a pie in the face. I think it was a pie by proxy, if I'm remembering this right. It was immortalized in this awesome drawing that our pal Nick in Texas, one of his friends, did for us. And it was a pumpkin pie that had totally turned to soup.
I think I bought it frozen, and I thought it had to thaw, and it thawed for too long. By the way, the plastic was amazing. The studio looked like a serial killer was setting up to do some work here. Things were covered, and it actually, ironically, it still got everywhere.
It did. It was like Dexter or something. I mean, it looked really, really bad. And
That's exactly what it was.
You leaned in. I did feel genuinely bad about this because, again, this was a pie by proxy. This was not a bet me versus you. This was a bet you versus somebody else.
It's a caller.
It was a caller.
And yet you enjoyed it thoroughly as if you had earned the right to throw a pie in my face.
Well, I mean, I tried to sell it there that I was bad. I was feeling bad for you.
Well, look, the selection committee, when they thought about ranking these moments, highlights, I guess you want to call them, it is the only moment that is immortalized in our studio.
Well, we've got the barbecue sauce, but that was not from 2023.
That was not from this year.
You're right.
This year, this is something that's immortalized. It remains with us every single day, so no one ever forgets that Maggie hit Perloff with a pie on the show. And it was for the biggest stakes. It was the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It was Perloff's team.
I get it.
Carson Wentz hasn't played with the Eagles in forever. Skyline Chili was awesome and gross, but no one here really has any beef or love for the Bengals in any way.
Yeah. No.
The stakes for the highest for this, it's immortalized in our studio, so I thought it had to be number one.
Pretty good.
It's good logic. I think it's awesome, and that was quite a moment.
That's
for
so
you.
funny because it was so earlier in the year. I forgot about that. It was so traumatizing at the time. I played it cool. That was not
the
fun.
loss or the pie?
The pie. It was not fun. I mean, getting the chili in weird places was not good, but the pie was everywhere for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, it did somehow end up on your back. Well, also, I was controlling that. At least with the chili, you were controlling how much your face went into that bowl.
Yeah, you're lucky you avoided a lawsuit for that one. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, man, what a year it's been. Bogish has some headlines for us. He's wearing his socks that he got in our White Elephant party.
Does the Maggie double dump feel like FSU right now, left out of the top 5?
I was going to say.
Please don't call it the Maggie double dump. That sounds really awful.
So the best of the rest, and there were several from the months I've been here.
Okay.
There was the double dump.
Guys, no, another name, not the double dump.
Number 2.
This crap is crap.
And the other one that I really wanted to get in but could not fit in was Everybody's Singing. Sweet Caroline. That was me.
EJ singing Sweet Caroline.
That's right.
Is epic.
You were so bad at it.
It was
terrible accent.
That was FSU. That was one where
the best part was
I was Boo Corrigan. I screwed myself out of the list.
My favorite part was how slow you started. Then at the end, you were like kind of feeling it. You're like,
no, the biggest upset of EJ's terrible rendition of Sweet Caroline is the fact it seemed like you had never heard this song before or knew any of the words.
Getting that song without any words and trying to figure out when you begin, for me, for whatever reason, I don't know
when
if I
got
when I got stage fright. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing at first.
This song literally tells you when to start.
Oh man, were there any others? OLIs.
So those were the 2 big ones. I thought. I think there was another one from earlier this season. I'm trying to remember.
The spicy nuggets never made it in.
Nuggets, that was the other one.
Spicy nuggets. Perloff eating the 10 spicy nuggets from Buffalo Wild Wings with no water.
Yeah, that was on there as well. But honestly, that almost felt. There wasn't anything funny about that to me. Perloff looked like he was in real pain. It was agony. That seemed like a low light.
It was because it was how many games the finals were going to end in, right? Nuggets, spicy nuggets. It was
How we come up with these
flimsy.
idiotic bets.
And our pal Nick in Texas, to
Yeah.
his credit, also did the challenge with us on Zoom from a Buffalo Wild Wings in Houston.
I want to be clear. I do owe Nick in Texas another bet.
The other Buffalo Wing thing.
Yeah, no, I'm supposed to wear a Buffalo costume, but the one that we found was $300. And
Yeah.
we're still working on finding a.
We'll get to it.
We're still value shopping on the Buffalo costume.
Andrew Kaplan thought chili should have been number one. I mean, the fact that Bogish had to do play-by-play on that and he was holding an umbrella.
Yes.
It was good.
Oh,
True story.
Wow. All right, headlines, I guess. That was
here we
some
go.
fun stuff.
2 players, $1 billion. The Dodgers following up their Shohei Ohtani victory by landing Japanese righty Yoshinobu Yamamoto last night. The 25-year-old reportedly getting a 12-year deal worth $325 million, plus the $50 million fee that goes to his team back home. It is the largest contract ever given to a pitcher. The Mets apparently offered a similar deal while the Yankees stopped at $300 million. That story developing as the Rams were hosting the Saints on Thursday Night Football. They were already thinking baseball at SoFi because someone special was in attendance.
They just showed Shohan Ohtani up on the court.
So
Poor
if you thought,
last night.
Herbie hated pro football, he doesn't give a bleep about baseball. Shohan Ohtani, how? Like he's the last person to meet him.
They just showed Shohan Ohtani up on the court.
Ohtani. I mean, come on.
Okay, wait. In defense of Herbstreit,
No, there is none.
He was struggling so hard. He must be sick as a dog.
He was the deep COVID or something on there last night. He
Something.
sounded really hoarse.
He got whatever Jalen Hurts got earlier this week.
Yeah.
He must have been on that plane.
He must have been covered.
Like Al Michaels must have been sitting in a soundproof booth, like as far away from him as possible. He was not only was his voice bad, he was just had to rely on every cliche in the book. Like he did not have his A game, but he'll be back for the college football playoff. He'll be fine.
No, he definitely said. He actually said that he was a huge baseball fan several times during the show. He said him and Al talk about baseball all the time.
Well,
That's
they
a lie.
They should get to now. Are
Yeah.
they discussing like 1994?
Honestly,
Albert Bell is long ago, my friend.
Isn't that Congress's job to mispronounce athletes' names? That's
Or like
Shohan
Jeopardy
Ohtani.
contestants.
Yeah.
Or mayors of
Or
like
mayor, right. Politicians
Yeah.
usually screw that up, but that was bad.
Shohan Ohtani. That's the richest guy ever now.
Yeah, as for the football that Herbie might have seen last night, the Rams stayed hot with a 30-22 decision. That's 5 wins in 6 games and the 6th seed for now in the NFC. This one changed late second quarter with the Saints trying to tie or take the lead. From the Rams' 42, they tried, failed on 4th down, giving LA the ball back. They scored a touchdown. They led 17-7, eventually 37 before that 8-point win. Saints head coach Dennis Allen.
We came into this game wanting to be aggressive, and knowing that the type of team that we were playing, the offense that we were playing, we knew that, field goals weren't the way to go try to win this game.
His team is now 9th overall in the NFC, but only a game behind the Bucs in the loss column atop the NFC South. They play in Tampa Bay on New Year's Eve. The Pistons played last night, which means the Pistons lost last night, 119-111 at home to the Jazz, and the fans have had enough.
This has been painful in the last minute or so, Gregory.
Yeah, and you look at some of the things that will prove to be a bit of a silver lining for the Pistons. The 117 they've given up is a better defensive total than we've seen in the past. They've been giving up over 130, but their turnovers tonight, 21 of them.
That's a sell the team chant.
Love it.
Almost drowning out the TV broadcast last night in Detroit.
That was clearly hard for them to keep talking through.
The losing streak is 25. They can match the longest skid ever tomorrow against the Nets.
That's Tom Gores, by the way,
Yes.
who is the owner. He also owns something called Platinum Equity. Doing a little more research on them. Stand by.
The good folks in Boca Raton didn't get much from the roofclaim.com bowl last night. USF with a 45-zip rout of Syracuse. And from the NHL, Colorado forward Nathan McKinnon went into a local supermarket, bought some hamburger meat, and then scored like Wilt.
Neil McCarr rims it behind the net. Nichushkin will get there. Nichushkin back in front. McKinnon! He scores! For the 300th time in his career!
McKinnon added added 2 more last night, so he's only 19,698 shy of Wilt. He and the Avalanche beat Ottawa 6-4. Guys, back to you.
Man, this show has really become, it's like it's layers. It really builds on itself. We talked about Wilt and his prolific
Did we talk about Wilt?
Personal life yesterday.
Maybe
we assumed
were.
it was Wilt.
That's true. It was a caller, Gary from Canada, called us and said he may or may not have ran into Wilt Chamberlain in the early 70s at a supermarket.
And I may or may not have said that Wilt bedded 20 million women.
Yes, you did say that yesterday. He's a busy guy.
Yeah, no, he needed a nap after that. I mean,
so the Pistons fans are chanting, sell the team. Tom Gores is the owner of the team. Platinum Equity is his investment firm. They invest in something called Game Taco. More for your high score. Never heard of that before. And 50,000 other companies. But I thought Game Taco sounded fun.
sounds delicious.
Sounds like AI put together 2 things. It's like, what
Things
do you think young
like.
people
like games. They like tacos. Game Taco.
Yeah,
it's like Game Taco Tuesday.
It's $1 million idea.
And Platinum Equity, it sounds like every other investment firm in the history of the planet.
It sounds like an investment firm that will steal your money. It's like, oh, we knew they were up to no good.
It sounds like Enron.
Yeah, A1 Platinum Equity. We won't steal your money. Promise. This portion of the show, thank you, Bogish. This portion of the show is brought to you by NHTSA. Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, drinking and driving will change your whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over, paid for by NHTSA. Okay, Perloff has graciously, what did you ask, like the judge, if you could?
Let's not talk about it.
Okay. Perloff is going to stay to do our picks, our NFL picks next, skirting his responsibilities for jury duty for 15 minutes.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
Do you want the?
Are you in contempt of court?
Technically, can you get this? Can you hit the dot button, Carlos?
I'm not snitching, so I
EJ,
said nothing.
I trust you. These guys. Bogus is gonna call the warden.
Oh no! This is like the people who go to the Price is Right and wear a T-shirt that says "I skipped work to go to the Price is Right." It's like that's getting back to your boss. 855-212-4CBS picks next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Shot of the Day is brought to you by Casamigos. Tequila Casamigos is brought to you by those who drink it. And, of course, a happy holidays to everyone. As part of our Casamigos family, Lee Einseidler specifically, of course, George Clooney and Randy Gerber and Mike Meldman. They have been so supportive of our show, and they're just great people. So here is your shot of the day.
This is flimsy. This feels like socks or, a turtle, a dickie maybe? A scarf? It's wrapped well.
Yeah, my wife wrapped this.
All right.
Philly socks. They're festive holiday socks. Nope, I was wrong. Philly socks. I didn't see them.
You saw the blue and the red and thought it was nice.
Well, that's because Bogish threw the socks behind his head the moment that he could see what they were.
Can I say something about Casamigos?
Yeah.
Ever since we started working with them, every guy dinner I go to, it's a must-have Casamigos or I'm not drinking tequila. That is life in New York City right now.
We have gotten so lucky that they want to be a part of this show, and we appreciate them so much. All right, so in lieu of doing NFL picks today, because we, didn't leave a lot of time, but also we want to get to some of your phone calls because we want to hear from you, and especially our pal Nick in Texas, who wanted to call in. Nick, happy holidays. We hope you and your family are going to have a fantastic break, and you want to hold Perloff's feet to the fire.
Oh, well, the feet to the fire, EJ brought that up. I was kind of leaving that alone now. You know, after some chats with some people and all of that, it's just time to kind of let it breathe. You know, whenever he's ready for his little pay, then we'll take it. But
Nick,
I've
no. Perloff has to pay this off. We've got to keep him to this.
Well, I was thinking about something. If the Buffalo Bills make the playoffs, then I can double up on the Buffalo-related wardrobe.
I might borrow it from you.
There you go. I like that. But I was just calling, obviously. I just wanted to give a big old happy holiday shout-out to the Weedos and coffee drinkers, Daly, Pine, Two-Tone Tony, all those guys that have been there throughout the year. I've really enjoyed this year of talk radio. You guys have really nailed it again. So I just wanted to call, wish you guys a happy holidays, happy New Year's, happy Hanukkah. You know, so just I really hope you guys enjoy it. Your little one gets everything he needs, and Sarah and the girls get what they need. So happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you, Nick.
Nick, you're the best. Actually, top moment of Maggie and Perloff 2023 was getting to meet Nick in person and his two sons at the Final Four in Houston. It really was a super fun time, and you guys were just a delight. Your kids are adorable.
Yeah, it wasn't meaning you, Nick. It was meaning your kids.
Yeah, kids blew everyone away.
Yeah, they were the coolest.
And we're going to be all working for them at some point. I'm convinced of that someday, probably in the not too distant future. But Nick, you're the best. The Perloffs, the unofficial Facebook page, the NCAA tournament, March Madness every year. I mean, you're just the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one, Nick. Appreciate that so much.
By the way, to thank the YouTube chat to come into the morning with us, amazing.
How about Mike in California yesterday? Okay, so they replay our show in the afternoon in a couple markets in California, which we appreciate so much. Mike in California, though, is such a loyal listener and caller that he woke up at 3:30 in the morning just to call us, to talk to us live. That kind of like dedication, sacrifice, it's amazing.
Love it.
Wow. Okay. Really, really fast. Let's take a look at who's got home field advantage this weekend in our NCAA football preview. It's sponsored by Fairfield by Marriott. Fairfield by Marriott is the official hotel partner of the NCAA. With over 1,000 locations around the country, you'll always have the home field advantage. Visit fairfield.marriott.com to book your stay. Who I think is going to have the home field advantage? I think it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers playing this big game against the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, well, yeah, duh. Although, I have to be honest, I saw the Ravens come out and say, we are very disrespected by being this big of an underdog. The spread is heavy. 6 points.
Started at 5.5 and going up.
Yeah, this is not my official pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was a close game because I feel like the Ravens are going all out for it. This could be, I'm so excited for this game.
Quickly, Hung is in Harrisburg. Hey, Hung, happy holidays.
Oh, buenos dias, feliz Navidad.
There we go.
Anyway, I got a little problem with the Vegas, because my Raven underdog, 6.5. Let me tell you, how you going to stop Lamar, number 8? If nobody can stop him, how you going to get to him? He's got the problem. And then, on the other side, Roquan Smith going to go out and hit 40, and 40, he had a baby arm like last year in the Eagle game. If 40 got hit, he's done, and the 49 going to be done. So I got a money line my team, Raven. Money line plus 200 all day. Raven, come out with a win.
Thank you so much, Hung.
Oh, man, Hung is getting me fired up for the Ravens.
No, I can't wait for this game. Thank you to EJ Stewart. You did a lot of work. You and Andrew Kaplan getting together all of these top 5 moments, everything. Carlos, you know how we feel about you. Fantastic job on the board. Andrew Bogish is, incredible. We appreciate him so much. Kaplan, I mean, amazing. We're lucky.
Next year, no holds barred game of Uno to bring in the new year.
Thank you to the Weedos and the coffee drinkers, the callers.
You're in a 5-minute break.